It's one of the best games on the NFL schedule today, featuring the top two rushing teams in the league. The first place Kansas City Chiefs and the second place Oakland Raiders on a rainy day here in the Bay Area. Kevin Harlan with Solomon Wilcots. And this game's going to figure to go a long way toward deciding the division winner in the AFC Western Division.
And Todd Haley knows how important this game is. He just wants his team to play well, to have few minus plays, and don't turn the ball over. If they feel like they can protect the football, they can get out of here with a win today.
Of course, they've gone 3 consecutive games without a turnover. You take a look at Tom Cable leading the change in Oakland since he took over for Lane Kiffin a couple years ago. It has been a long time, Solomon, since the Raiders have had a regular season game this important.
And you love Tom Cable's approach to this game. He says we want to impose our will on the Kansas City Chiefs and find their breaking point. So they expect a very physical, hard-fought game today.
It's the Chiefs, it's the Raiders. Janikowski's kickoff, and away we go in rainy Oakland. Javier Arenas will take it out for Kansas City. And Thomas Howard, along with Michael Huff, bring him down, stack him up 24-yard line on a 23-yard return. This will take us now to the quarterback of the Chiefs. Only Peyton Manning has been sacked more than Matt Castle, who has thrown just 3 interceptions in 7 games. In other words, mistake-free football, no interceptions since the month of September.
His ability to protect the football and rely on the power running game. With 2 great running backs like Jamaal Charles and Thomas Jones, you have to like the way that Matt Castle is playing football for his team.
First down and 10 from the 24. Jones is in the backfield. Here comes the rush. He got away from Lamar Houston, then is doused at about the 26-yard line on a gain of 2 yards on the play. Offensive line, 3 consecutive games. They have given their rushing attack 200 yards or more. Lilja comes back at the right guard today. He has a cast on that thumb. Thomas Jones has been a terrific addition to this ball club. 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Second down and 8. This is Jones. Not a lot there. No gain on the play. Houston again. The rookie out of Texas is there with the stop. Let's take a look at that Oakland defensive line with Richard Seymour and a couple sacks last week. And he was terrific and has been that way now in his 2nd season with the Raiders. Rookie out of Alabama, McClain, has been a starter since opening day. And in the secondary, and this is the big news for the Raider defense, Chris Johnson is in for the injured Nnamdi Asomugha, who twisted an ankle last week. 3rd and 8 right now. Passing situation, it would seem, for Castle. And Jamaal Charles is in the backfield. 5 in the Raiders secondary. Albert with the block. Drop pass. Charles had it. Would have been shy of a first down had he been whacked at the 30-yard line. And so the Chiefs are 3 and out on their first possession today.
You wondered who could handle the conditions. A wet ball through the hands of Jamaal Charles. Good throw from Matt Castle. He's got to be able to make that catch. Whoever can handle the weather conditions today. One of the first games all year. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs played in a really wet game week 1.
Here's the punt by Colquitt. Miller is deep back from the 30-yard line. Flag has been thrown. There goes another flag. Miller dancing his way and finally brought down by Varan Tucker. It is a 44-yard punt, a 16-yard return. And the ball is out to about the 46-yard line, like we said. A couple flags have been thrown, and Jeff Triplett is our referee here in Oakland this afternoon. Opposing quarterbacks, by the way, are only completing 53% against this Raider defense. We saw them take their good first swipes at Chiefs quarterback Castle.
Holding during the return, number 22, the receiving team. That penalty is declined. During the punt, holding number 34 of the receiving team.
Mitchell.
That 10-yard penalty would be forced. First down.
And that is a look at Todd Haley. And here we go now with Jason Campbell, the quarterback. He threw for 310 yards last week, the most for a Raider quarterback since 2007. He's making his 4th start for the injured Bruce Gradkowski today.
And over the last 2 weeks, no team has had a more explosive offense than the Oakland Raiders, led by Jason Campbell. and yet and still he doesn't know if he'll get a chance to continue as the team's starting quarterback. So his performance in this game today is vitally important.
We'll take a look at Campbell, and already a penalty against the Raiders. This is the most penalized team in the National Football League for Coach Tom Cable.
And that's something Coach Tom Cable really wants to improve. And he knows in order to win this game today against a team like the Chiefs, who's rarely penalized, they've got to cut down in that area today.
From the 20, 1st and 10. Right to work. Bobbled and dropped by Darius Hayward-Bay. Good coverage on the play. Carr was right there. On that left tackle position, that is a 6'8" rookie out of a small little school, Hillsdale in Michigan, Valdir, but coupled with Gallery, pretty big left side of their line. In fact, they've got a huge size advantage over the Chiefs. McFadden is the number 7 rusher coming into today in the National Football League. It is 2nd down and 10 from the 20. That's Khalif Barnes, a lineman and rookie who is eligible and provides a block for McFadden. He then was brought down on the wing by Eric Berry, who is a rookie. It is a gain of 3, and he's out to the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at that Kansas City defense. Now in the 34 mode after so many years in the 43. Dorsey plays the right defensive end. They like his progress. Derek Johnson is one of the interior linebackers. He leads the defense in tackles. And a very young secondary, starting a rookie safety and 2 third-year cornerbacks, one of which is an emerging player in this league, Brandon Flowers, an impact player. 3rd and a long 6, the Chiefs in the nickel. Washington has come in. Great pressure. Ball is loose. They blow it dead. Gilberry jumped on it, but it was too late. It was deflected inside, and like the Chiefs before them, the Raiders are 3 and out, and they got a punt.
Yeah, and this is just a play where Jason Campbell's got to get rid of the ball at the top of his drop. See, the ball has to come out now. Prior to the pass rush getting there, they want more consistency from Jason Campbell, not just in today's game, but if he's going to continue to be the starting quarterback for this football team, he's going to have to play with a higher level of consistency.
Shane Leckler will be punting to Javier Arenas. Leckler number 1 in gross, number 2 in net in the NFL. Arenas from the 27-yard line. Finds a seam, runs into his own blocker, I think was Studebaker, and he's out to about there's a late flag thrown. 36-yard line, 9-yard return on a 48-yard punt with a time of over 4.5. And so we've seen a lot of flags early in this game.
And Javier Arenas is one of those talented rookies we're going to see a lot of today. It's one of the reasons why the Chiefs have been able to turn around their football team.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Number 85 in the return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
And 85 is Jake O'Connell, who's a backup tight end. The Chiefs have run the ball well last couple weeks.
Over 200 yards rushing or more in 3 consecutive weeks. They were able to shred that Houston Texans defense for over 200 yards rushing. And then how about what they did to the Jacksonville Jaguars? 236 yards on the ground between both running backs, Jamaal Charles, Thomas Jones. What they did to Buffalo again last week, 200 yards rushing or more in 4 of their last 5 games.
1st and 10, they come to the near side with Bo. Route was there on the coverage. It's a gain of 6, and they'll put the ball at, let's see here, about the, where have they spotted it, 31, 32-yard line? They don't put down the ball, and the guy was at the wrong yard line. He was going to spot it at the 25, and then he, wait a minute, hold it. I'm up at the 32-yard line.
How about Kansas City? The first 4 plays of this game, 2 runs, 2 passes. We're touting their dominant run game. They rank number 1 in the NFL. Let's see, sooner or later, they'll get back to running the rock.
Castillo in at the fullback on the 2nd down and 4. Jones again. You see Houston right there. Also a tackle after a gain of 3. Out to the 35-yard line. Here's Lamar Houston. We said before that Castle had only been sacked 3 times. He and Manning have been sacked the least amount of times in the NFL. That is a nice compliment for that offensive line.
Absolutely, and they're not throwing it a whole lot. They only throw it 43% of the time, which means 57% of the time they are running the football, and it's allowed them to improve their entire football team, giving their defense a lot of rest.
Charles is in, 3rd and 1. Castillo. And he plows. Looked like maybe Shaughnessy made the stop. Barely by the 35. He'll be short. The Chiefs are going to have to punt for a 2nd consecutive possession.
Kansas City Chiefs come in averaging 5.2 yards per rush attempt. But you can see they're finding it very difficult to get movement up front. This is a very big and stout Oakland Raiders defensive line. And Richard Seymour, who told us that they felt like they had the matchup advantage. They felt like they could penetrate and dominate the line of scrimmage. It's where the battle is going to be won today.
Nick Miller is deep back on this punt by Dustin Colquitt. Second punt for the Chiefs on the 17-yard line. Hang time of 5 seconds. Passing his way and then brought down on the play with a nice tackle made by Kansas City's Thomas Gafford. He is the long snapper on a 48-yard punt. A 6-yard return and a second possession now coming up for the Oakland Raiders. They'll start at their 23-yard line.
Hugh Jackson, the offensive coordinator, giving the instructions to Jason Campbell. And the reason why Jason Campbell has played well and why this offense has gained over 500 yards in each of their last 2 ball games, I think you've got to go right back to the offense coordinator, Hugh Jackson, and what he's done. He's empowered his quarterback to take chances throwing the ball, and he's put the ball in one of the hands of his best players, Darren McFadden, at the running back position.
With Tyson Jackson now into one of the defensive ends for the Chiefs on 1st and 10. They go outside. This is Marcel Reese. He is a fullback out of Washington. Gain of 7 on the play. Dropped down by McCraw and others. The ball out to the 30-yard line.
Marcel Reese, a former wide receiver at the University of Washington. Not your typical fullback, Kevin. He's one of the guys that Hugh Jackson went to and said, hey, you can be a special player in this offense, but you got to learn to block first. The only way we can put you on the field, you have to be a tremendous blocker. We're going to see how he factors in the running game, blocking at the point of attack today.
Kareem Johnson out there with the stop. 2nd down and 3. Michael Bush has come in on the Wildcat. McFadden. Lead block by Carlisle. Down across the way, Javon Belcher was over there along with Flowers. It is a gain of 8. He's out to the 38-yard line, and he has a Raider first down.
Well, they get out to this left side. Watch how they're able to seal the edge to get him to the 2nd level. See, and if you stop it right there. Now watch how they get the hole here and they kick out there. Creates a nice running lane for Darren McFadden. This is what the Raiders do very well. They have a big, stout offensive line as well. It's going to be interesting to see how they match up against the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line.
Another Wildcat, McFadden, who played a little bit of quarterback, of course, at the University of Arkansas. Bottom of your screen is the quarterback, Campbell. First down and 10. Handoff, Bush. Good cruising running back, and he takes it out to about the 45-yard line. And Vrabel was over there. Derek Johnson was making the stop. Gain of about 6 on the play. They'll spot him at the 45.
Hugh Jackson talks about the versatility of players that they have on offense. Remember, Zach Miller's not playing in today's game, Kevin, the leading receiver at the tight end position. So Hugh's going to use everything he has at his disposal. Darren McFadden is a very versatile player, as we're finding out in this Wildcat formation.
2nd down and 3. The fake to Bush. McFadden. Belcher with a stop. Gain of 7 on the play into Kansas City territory now at the 48-yard line with the Wildcat. Talked about some of the players that were not available today. McCluster is out again for the Chiefs, inactive with that bad ankle. Zach Miller, who is a terrific tight end, receiving tight end, is out for the Raiders. Yeah, and you, upon first thought, you would think, wow, what a big blow. But there's other weapons in this offense. You could see early on Hugh Jackson using some of those weapons to manufacture first downs and create opportunities on this first drive. Campbell again back under center on this 1st down and 10. McFadden. Reese with the block on Vrabel. McCraw. Lewis is inactive today. Kendrick Lewis started last week. It's a gain of 1. And the ball to the 47-yard line of the Chiefs.
Kevin, in the previous 2 seasons, Darren McFadden only had 1 game of over 100 yards rushing. So far this year in their first 8 games, he's had 4 games where he's topped 100 yards rushing. I asked Hugh Jackson, what did you do with Darren McFadden? He said, he told me the plays that he wanted to run, I implemented them, and he has responded by being a productive player.
2nd and 9. Ali tries to get him, and Belcher finally does, and very little gain. That's no gain on the play. To the 47-yard line as we take you to New York, and James Brown.
Kevin and Solomon, Jets trail 28-10 in the 4th. 11 to go. They battle back, send it into OT, and win it on that 30-yard field goal by Nick Folk. Jets put it out 23-20 in OT. Kevin Harlan, Solomon Wilcox.
Sounds like a good one.
Yeah, JB, New York Jets surviving. Not a lot of people expecting that kind of competitive team for the Detroit Lions. Jim Schwartz has that team improved.
3rd down and 9. Chiefs in the nickel. For Higgins. Coverage on the play by the safety Eric Berry, and that's incomplete at about the 22-yard line. So they were moving the ball. They used the Wildcat, but they can't get it to go, and so it's 7 plays punt coming up for the Raiders.
On to punt. Number 21, Javier Arenas, deep for Kansas City.
And welcoming our new audience, this is the 2nd consecutive punt for the Raiders. The Chiefs have had it twice. They've punted each time, 3 and out and 3 and out. Leckler will punt to Javier Arenas, who's back at the 10-yard line. Yeah, first place Kansas City and 2nd place Oakland in the AFC West, 2 of the best rushing teams in the league. Leckler will send this into the end zone. And so the Chiefs will get it on a touchback on that 47-yard punt, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Leckler as good as they get. In fact, he's the all-time leading punter in the NFL at over 47 yards a punt. So here's the 3rd possession now coming up for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He's what you would call a weapon. He can change field position and keep the Kansas City Chiefs offense hemmed in their own end of the football field, and it really is a thing that helps their defense.
5-2 Kansas City. Nobody really saw this coming in year 2 of this rebuilding project.
They got off to the surprising 3-0 start, and many people thought they would falter. Here they are at the halfway point, still leading the division.
Jones in the backfield, 1st and 10. Rushes on. Moiaki. The block downfield by Chambers, and out of bounds he goes. Rout was chasing him on the near side out to the 35-yard line. That's a catch and run of 15 yards.
You love Moiaki. Look, he starts here and comes back across the formations, able to get open at the 2nd level of the defense. No black jersey is within 10 yards of Tony Moiaki, a talented tight end, already contributing, one of those 7 draft picks who's making substantial contributions to this football team.
Branch also got a hand on him. It is a 1st down for the Chiefs. Charles in the backfield. Chiefs are coming off a win last week over Buffalo, where they did not play all that well, yet won in overtime, 13-10. As you take a look at 2nd-year head coach Todd Haley, who's done a terrific job for this team. The Raiders won last week. They beat Seattle.
Approachment, defense, number 90, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
It's Desmond Bryant, one of the few Harvard players in the NFL, and so they mark it at the 40-yard line.
And he's one of the smart guys.
Yeah, he is.
But still can't stay offsides. You take a look at the most penalized team in the National Football League. Already 2 penalties against the Raiders today. They average 9 penalties per game. Way too much if you're going to be a winning team.
Jones in the backfield. Charles on the side here on this 1st and 5. Seymour makes the stop on Thomas Jones out of UVA, and out to the 44-yard line he goes. And Seymour has been a culture-changing guy for this Raider team.
He's a guy that brings over tremendous leadership after so many years with the New England Patriots. And a couple of the opposing coaches for the Kansas City Chiefs, their offense coordinator, Charlie Weiss, Romeo Cornell, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, who had coached in New England while Richard Seymour was there. He said, yeah, they're going to give him a scouting report on me. They're going to tell him how great I am. Isn't that what he told him?
Yeah, right.
He wasn't shy.
Charles is in, 2nd down and 1. He gets the call. Nice block up front by Lilja. He's into Raider territory. He's got the 1st down, picking up 5 on the play. Lilja, who's back at that right guard with a nice block to open up that hole.
Kevin, this Kansas City Chiefs football team, they just keep coming at you. And we saw in the first couple of possessions where they weren't able to manufacture rush yards going right up the gut of this Oakland Raiders defense. Here they continue to pound it relentlessly, continue to come downhill at the Raiders defense.
Jones in on 1st and 10. Offering a block for Kessel. Way after him they come again by Houston. Chased by McClain. And someone lost a shoe. That was the quarterback, and the slipper does fit still for Castle and this team. They pick up 9 to the 41 of the Raiders.
Surprisingly, the athleticism of Matt Castle. Watch how many Raider defenders he's able to elude in the pocket to get positive yards. 1, 2, now 3, and a 4th defender stepping out and is able to move and press towards and beyond the line of scrimmage and getting ever so close to a 1st down.
Both teams on 2-game winning streaks. Here is the 3rd possession for the Chiefs. 2nd down and 1. Jones Milja blocked, Castillo blocked, and then Shaughnessy brings him down with no gain on the play. Raider defense is trying to hold stiff here. They are number 26 against the run. Not glaring numbers, but they do plug that middle at times.
Absolutely, and the key is today is to eliminate big runs by the Kansas City Chiefs. And they know it's going to be a war of attrition. They know this will be a four-quarter football game where continuously both teams are going to pound it at one another. Who is going to be the last team standing in the fourth quarter? Because both teams, they're not shy about it. They want to run the football.
Jones and Castillo in the eye, 3rd down and 1. Thomas Jones. Richardson trying to lay a block, and there wasn't a lot of room right there. And you saw the group of Raiders making the stop at the 40-yard line, which is where they had to get for the first down.
Richard Seymour said of Thomas Jones, he's a blue-collar hard worker. He has our respect. He's the kind of guy you want on your football team. Everyone speaks in glowing terms of Thomas Jones. Even his head coach Todd Haley had wonderful things to say about him, and what an addition he has been to their football team.
They'll bring the chains out. They tried earlier 3rd and 1. They couldn't get it. Here's another 3rd and 1. Let's see if this produces a first down, and if it doesn't, which it won't, it's a 4th down. In the past, this has been a real interesting story in Kansas City. Going for 4th downs. He calls it sometimes a 4th down mode. He puts his offense in.
And they're in plus territory. That's where he wants to do it. And he has already told the offense, we're going to go for it if we get in positive territory. And so he said everyone is on high alert. The defense, the offense. He said guys in the huddle, their eyes light up when they're in that 4th down mode and that mentality you talked about.
They feel empowered, the offensive
really
players.
do. And you know what? It says to the players in the huddle, as a head coach, I trust you. Go out and win the football game.
2 tight ends, including Pope, 4th and 1. Jones in the backfield. Oh, someone moved. Looked like Milja. Trowelnick at 4th and 6.
False start. Number 65 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
He didn't play last week because of that right hand. Milja.
Right there. We said high alert. He's way on high alert.
Yeah.
And maybe too energized. He's not watching the ball. He's right next to the center and could see the ball, but clearly Ryan Milja, he was able to jump and prevented the Chiefs an opportunity from picking up a first down.
So there was a nice catch and run by Moeaki on that drive of 15 yards. And look at this. They're going to go now for a fake, and they've gone in the Wildcat. Arenas is in the quarterback position. He'll take it with a block from Copper and work his way back to the line of scrimmage, and they cannot get it. The 40-yard line is as far as he gets on downs. The Chiefs will turn it over to the Raiders. They were back at the 46 with the penalty. They get back to the 40-yard line, the original line of scrimmage before the penalty. 7 downs. They turn it over to Oakland early. Richard Seymour and that Raider defense doing the job.
Excellent job on the 4th down play. And you know, everybody thinks that Todd Haley may be a riverboat gambler by going for it on 4th down. We have proof to tell you that a lot of teams in the National Football League are doing it a lot more.
Wildcat on 1st and 10. After the Chiefs give it up on downs. McFadden, he can throw. Reese with the block, looking for Hayward Bay. And incomplete with McGraw back there and Barry. They were going for the young receiver, Darius Hayward Bay out of Maryland. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
He can throw, but it wasn't a good decision. You talk about throwing it into a team meeting. Take a look at how many red hats are in the area as opposed to the black jersey and the intended receiver for Darren McFadden. Look at the red jerseys. You have 3 defenders there, have a better chance at making a play on the ball than Darius Hayward Bay.
Campbell back in. Sean Smith playing the left defensive end on this series for Kansas City. 2nd down and 10. Blocked by McFadden. Down they go, and a great rush put on in the middle. With the stop for the Chiefs, Eric Berry with the sack. It's a loss of 9, back to the 32.
Take a look at this. He'll just come off that right corner. He's able to beat the block by Darren McFadden. Comes off, keeps his footing, and still able to get the sack on the quarterback.
First career sack.
Getting continuously better each and every week. I watched him on tape the way he defended the run from his safety position last week against the Buffalo Bills. And now you can see Romeo Cornell is not afraid to use him around the line of scrimmage to put pressure on the quarterback.
Arenas is in. Washington in. 6 in the secondary for the Chiefs on 3rd and 19. They need the Kansas City 49. McFadden to the 45. Brought down by McGraw. Fell shy of the first down. 3 and out for the Raiders. 3rd consecutive punt coming up. That was a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, you could still see the explosive nature of Darren McFadden. I thought Campbell did the right thing. When you rush 3 defenders and drop 8 in coverage, the quarterback has to dump it down and check it down to the running back and allow Shane Leckler to come in and punt it and change the field position in a positive way.
Arenas, who was in on that last defensive play, part of the dime package for Kansas City, waiting the punt from the 5-time Pro Bowler Shane Leckler. There is little breeze, and so, and it's a fake. Rock Cartwright, who dances by 1 defender and then is brought down by Terrence Copper. It's a gain of 1. The Chiefs will get the ball with great beginning field position at the 47-yard line. Copper with the tackle.
1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the Raiders.
Did you expect a couple of fake punts, one on each side so far to start this game?
I don't agree with the last fake. I think you have to only do that if you're Tom Cable, if you're in plus territory. And with a weapon at punter like Shane Leckler, you can win the battle of field position.
Charles in the backfield, 1st and 10. On the move once again. Shaughnessy brings him down. He was a high pick out of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. It's a gain of 4 down to the 44-yard line of the Raiders.
I think this play is dead in the water. Look at Demario Williams. He's got you outflanked. Then you have a second-level defender here with Copper. And so you can't even get past the line of scrimmage because they have you outflanked, and a secondary defender is able to make the tackle on Rock Cartwright. I think by formation of the defense, I think that play was dead in the water to begin with.
They have emptied the playbook so far. You're right. 2nd down and 7. Thomas Jones was in the backfield going deep, looking for Chambers. That's a penalty flag. The coverage by Chris Johnson taking the place of Asamoah today in the secondary for the Raiders.
Wow, I'm not so sure on this one. Initially, I thought Johnson was in great position, got his head around and played the football. You got to let him play.
One-time Chief, Chris Johnson.
Pass interference. Defense, number 37. Automatic 1st down.
In for Nnamdi Asamoah. Take a look. Matched up against Chris Chambers. They're both hand fighting. Now get your head around, find the ball. Now both of them have hands and arms locked. Where was the contact initiated by the defense when Johnson was playing the ball?
30-yard penalty. Jones in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the 14 of the Raiders. Jones, lead block by Moiaki. Tackle made in the secondary coming in time on Branch. It's a gain of 7 yards. They're down to the 7.
You give the ball to Thomas Jones, usually good things happen. He protects the football, over 300 carries and touches of the football since he last fumbled. So you can trust him inside the red zone, and he's a powerful inside runner. He's always going to break that first initial tackle.
2nd down and 3. That's Duran Tucker atop your screen. Jones to the 5. Seymour got a hand on him, as did Shaughnessy. It's a gain of about a yard on the play, which takes us to the conclusion of the first quarter. No score. The top 2 teams in the AFC West in Oakland. Chiefs head coach Todd Haley has a first-place team in the West.
Yeah, there's 3 reasons why this team is in first place. How about the acrimony in San Diego? It's opened the door for the Kansas City Chiefs, and the changing of the guard in Denver as they've said goodbye to perennial playmakers, and the leadership in Kansas City between Todd Haley, their general manager Scott Pioli, seem to be made of the right stuff. This is a football team that seems to do the little things right. Not only do they have a great draft class, but we talk about the few penalties and no turnovers in their last 3 ball games have allowed them to really play at a very high level.
3rd down and 2, starting the second quarter. Caught Moiaki. It should be a touchdown. He never hit the ground. He rolled on the player. His foot never hit the ground. His knee never hit the ground. 6-yard touchdown pass. Castle right on the money.
Well, excellent play. Tony Moiaki, we talked about him being one of those coveted draft picks to come over in the class of 2010 for Kansas City Chiefs. Gets inside of Mike Mitchell. You mentioned it, Kevin. He never touched the ground as he rolled over Mitchell, number 34, came down with the ball across the goal line in the end zone. And Tom Cable wants to take another look at it. But if he sees the same pictures we saw, It's going to be for naught.
Moriaki has already been NFL Rookie of the Week earlier this season. He's got 2 touchdown receptions. That may have been number 3 right there. And talking to Todd Haley last night, he says his maturity factor. He's always at the right place at the right time.
3rd round pick from Iowa. A very good player. You can see he can do the little things right. Understanding you've got to get across the face of that safety.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
Looked like he rolled right over the defensive back for the Raiders on this strike by Castle. Raiders are contending he hit the ground before he went in the end zone.
Welcome back, and the pictures show that I stand corrected. It appeared as though Tony Moriaki's knee was down before he crossed the goal line. Take a look at it from behind. You're going to see a knee touch the ground.
After review, receiver catches the ball and is down by contact with his knee hitting the ground at the 1-yard line with the ball at the 1-yard line. Therefore, it'll be 4th and goal at the 1. Please reset the game clock to 14:58. 14:58. Oakland is not charged the timeout.
I'll show the angle to you again. Tony Moriaki catches the ball as Mike Mitchell drags him to the ground. And you can see that right knee on the ground, and the ball has yet to cross the goal line.
It wasn't at 3rd and 2, and now they're at the 1. They got it 4th and 1.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to get their attention.
Jones, the fake Castle, chased by Mitchell into there's a flag thrown into the 1-yard line is where he ran. Asamoah was the lead blocker.
Todd Haley is trying to get the attention of the officials. He's trying to get the attention of the officials and trying to go back and determine the down and distance prior to the play by Moriaki.
Holding, offense number 45. 10-yard penalty, still 4th down.
But you have to make that argument, Kevin, before they snap the ball.
It was right, exactly.
You can't go back and do it over now.
It was 3rd and 2. They throw to Moriaki. He's down at the 1.
Absolutely. It should have been a 1st down.
It should have been a first down.
It should have been a 1st down before they snapped the ball and got the holding penalty. And now Todd Haley is trying to correct them and trying to get their attention. He was trying to get their attention actually before they snapped the ball.
On the previous play, the ball carrier made the 1st down stick.
Right.
So it was 1st and goal at the 1. So now it will be 1st and goal after the penalty from the 1-yard line.
So Tom Cable said, so what are you telling me? That last play didn't count?
This is 3rd and 2.
This is the Moriaki play on 3rd and 2. And he's going to be down by contact here. But as you can see, he's past the 1st down marker. So it should be 1st and goal at the 1-yard line prior to the snap of the ball where Matt Castle ran it in and they received an infraction for holding.
It's now 1st and goal at the 11. If we're to believe what's going on the field. Jones in the backfield. Looking for Tucker. And he's got the ball! What a catch! Undrafted rookie free agent out of Cal. They called him off the practice squad October 23rd. What a reception.
And Johnson has been beaten as of late. Lost his starting job to Stanford route. In for Nnamdi Asomugha. Great catch over Chris Johnson for a touchdown. So they're going after Johnson early in this game, Kevin, and they're making big plays. It's how they got down here in the first place when they put the pass interference penalty on Chris Johnson.
Yep, that's a key play. You're right to bring that up. That was a 30-yard pass interference penalty, and then they get, and now they challenge again. And that 30-yard penalty was on Johnson, and that catch by Varan Tucker was on Johnson defending.
Oakland is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
The call on the field is that it was a catch in bounds. The left foot does come down. Now, does he drag the second foot? You can't see, but see, the leg is down. And that shin or that knee constitutes 2 feet.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Oakland is charged a timeout and their second and final challenge for the game.
Which will play a factor. Verran Tucker, with his first NFL reception, is a touchdown. The rookie free agent from Cal, which is that campus is not too far from this stadium.
And the Raiders are out of challenges for the game. Now, under 2 minutes, the officials can take a look at it. The officials can challenge it for the Raiders, but that red flag has to stay in Tom Cable's pocket.
Would you expect anything less than a game with all this going on? A couple fake punts, a challenge here, a challenge there, some questionable plays, a mistake on the field. Here's the extra point, which makes it 7-0 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Suckup puts it through. Castle's got the touchdown pass, his 11th of the season. They work on Osmoa's replacement. 7-0 Kansas City. How about playing in your third NFL game? You've never caught a pass. You've been relegated to special teams, and here you are catching your first reception as a touchdown in a big rivalry game against the Oakland Raiders in a place which is just literally miles away from where you play college ball at Cal.
And Tucker went out and earned it and did it the old-fashioned way. Boy, what a play.
This is Jacoby Ford who will take it out. He is a rookie out of Clemson, a 4th-round pick. And Studebaker's got his arm around his waist and hugs him out at about the 27-yard line. 26-yard line. Here comes Jason Campbell. He and the Raiders are down 7-0 here early in the second quarter. We are back in Oakland. It's an 11-yard touchdown pass to Verran Tucker for Matt Castle. It's given the Chiefs an early 7-0 lead. We're just seconds into this second quarter, and here come the Oakland Raiders from the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. McFadden is in the backfield with Reese. Swing pass to Reese. Brought down by Smith. Little catch and run that time of 1. He's out to the 27-yard line. Here are some early notes. If I would have told you before this game that the last team to beat New England and New Orleans back-to-back, the Cleveland Browns.
Peyton Hill is having a big day and a win of the Browns over the New England Patriots. And speaking of a win, how about the Oakland Raiders? They've got to get it going. They want to run behind that left side of Valdir
Holding
and Gallery.
76 the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Gallery picks it up on that 2-yard gain by McFadden, and that wipes that away, and they'll mark it back. Another penalty against the Raiders. They now have 4.
Tom Cable is so proud of this offensive line. It's an area where he once coached, and as the head coach, he still puts a tremendous emphasis on his offensive line and just how physical they are. And he said we have the makings of that on the left side at that left guard position with Robert Gallery and Jared Valdir, the rookie, at the left tackle position. So they got to continue to pound the rock running the football.
In the nickel, 2nd down and 9. Make it 2nd down and 19. There's a fumble on the play, and the Chiefs on the run grabbed it. That is a turnover. It's the first in a couple games for the Raiders. It was picked up, and Gilberry out of Alabama comes up with the loose ball. McFadden fumbles it, and the Chiefs take over.
This game, we talked about it, will come down to the war of attrition, but the ability to hold on to the football. Darren McFadden puts it on the ground. And how about the Kansas City Chiefs being opportunistic all season long, comes away with it inside the Oakland Raiders territory. And now it's up to the defense to keep the Chiefs out of the end zone.
Derek Johnson looks like he got that ball free from the Raider 26. It's a 1st and 10 with Jones in the backfield. And the ball, that's a fumble. And there we go. The Chiefs have recovered.
Boy, this is a rare sighting. Thomas Jones putting the ball on the ground. And the Raiders, you have to maintain possession. Richard Seymour had the ball, tried to pick it up and run with it, and they were able to knock it out of his hand. Watch him. He picks it up, and then they knocked it out of his hand. The Kansas City Chiefs fortuitously get the ball back. Look at the first fumble since he played here against the Oakland Raiders while playing with the Jets.
Second down and 17. Charles dancing on the near side to the 31-yard line, and he was chased pretty quickly. They had all kinds of players down there for the Raiders. It's a gain of a yard. Wembley was over there making the stop. The ex-Cleveland Brown to the 31.
Missed opportunity for the Oakland Raiders to get the ball back, and you got to believe you continue to allow Matt Castle to hang around your goal line here on a huge third down. If I'm Matt, I would not try to get too much out of this play. Check it down if you have to and allow yourself to get points out of this possession.
Charles in the backfield, 3rd and 15. They need the 16. Jamaal Charles brought down on the play by Mike Mitchell, picks up 6 on the play. So now 4th and 11, and here comes the field goal unit. Ryan Suckup to try a field goal for the Chiefs.
No gambling here for Todd Haley. He understands this is a wonderful opportunity to get more points on the board after the generous turnover by Darren McFadden.
Suckup had the game winner from 35 yards last week against the Buffalo Bills. This will be a 43-yard try, his long 45 this year. And he gets it to go. 10-0 Kansas City with the 11:08 to play here in the first half. They cash in on the Raider fumble. Suckup from 43. Top 2 teams in the AFC West. You see the scoring drive. They got the ball with the McFadden fumble. They get a 43-yard field goal from Suckup. 10-0 Kansas City. Early in the second quarter of play. The rain has begun to fall once again. It's been falling since early this morning here in the Bay Area. Jacoby Ford is back, but this is going to go short. And it's picked up on the play by Rock Cartwright out of K-State. He's the one who had the fake punt try earlier in the game. It's a 14-yard return, and he's out to about the 27-yard line. Campbell 1st and 10 from his 29. Bush is in. McFadden is out. Michael Bush, flea flicker. Campbell. He's got his receiver. Underthrown, incomplete, and the coverage by Carr at about the 23, 24-yard line, and downfield he goes, incomplete.
Boy, Brandon Carr turned on the afterburners because he was beat initially. Watch on the flea flicker as they toss it back to Campbell. Campbell's got to get the ball out because look at the top of your screen. There he is coming open. He's deep. And Carr just plays catch up to him, but doesn't make contact, allowing him to come back to the ball. This ball is overthrown. It's underthrown, I should say, but they've got to find a way to take advantage. Once you have the defense beat, you've got to be able to track the ball, find it, and catch it.
It's Rubio and Jackson on that defensive line for the Chiefs. They continue the rotation. It's 2nd down and 10. This is Bush. Khalif Barnes with a block, and there goes Bush out of Louisville. Brought down by Flowers. Flag thrown on the play. Gain out to about the 45-yard line. 16-yard pickup as it stands right now for Michael Bush.
Illegal motion offense. Number 69 moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's Barnes, who was a tackle eligible on the play. Let's take you to James Brown in our CBS studios in New York.
Kevin and Solomon, does it make any difference who Peyton Manning has as a receiver? This case here, it's the familiar tight end, Jacob Tamme. 3-yard play, capped an 11-play, 76-yard drive, 13-7. Eagles. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
Next man up, JB. That's the motto with the Indianapolis Colts.
With the injury to Dallas Clark, a bobbled snap. Campbell falling on the ball at the 14-yard line. That was 2nd and 15 on that particular play. Now it's all the way back to the 14.
Oh, you mentioned it. Take a look at the snap.
Oh my
this
gosh.
ball never got to the quarterback. Samson Tatelli never get it up to Jason Campbell. It's wet. The ball is wet. You can see players sliding all around, and ball security's priority number 1 for every single player handling the football. That includes the center who's snapping the football to his quarterback.
Rain continues to fall. 3rd and 25. The Chiefs with 6 in the secondary. Bush, Gilbert brings them down. At about the 17-yard line, pick up a 3. The Raiders with another 3 and out, and they got to punt the ball.
Well, I think the fans are booing because of that third down call. I like the call. If you're Hugh Jackson, after you get 3rd and 22, okay, all you want to do is hand it to the ball carrier and try to punt it. Use Shane Leckler to try to change field position. But after the botched snap by Samson Satele, I think Hugh Jackson, the play caller on offense, really didn't have anywhere to go.
Leckler to boot it. And Javier Arenas, a rookie, a 2nd-round pick out of Alabama. Up into the rain he looks. He'll dance. And brought down from behind. Trevor Scott riding him down about the 34-yard line. 53-yard punt. 5-yard return. Here comes Matt Castle. Here come the Chiefs. Shutting out the Raiders so far. Matt Castle has thrown a touchdown pass. Raiders have turned it over. Here come the Chiefs once again. 1st down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Charles will be in the backfield. The rain is picked up just a bit here in Oakland. Castle. Bow. Ridden out of bounds across the way by Rout. He'll gain 9, close to a 1st down. He's up to the 44-yard line.
And right now, you can tell Charlie Weiss is being very aggressive in the play calling, allowing Matt Castle to make plays throwing the football. I think it was Tom Cable who told us that we have to be able to stop the run and make Matt Castle beat us. And right now, you have to be careful of what you ask for. Charlie Weiss is dialing up significant plays. And how about Matt Castle? He's making plays throwing the ball to his receivers.
Jones is in, 2nd down and 1. Jones, he was devoured. Seymour stops him in his tracks. No gain on the play.
Seymour can be one of the more dominant football players in the National Football League when he makes his mind up. Watch him just slant down and is able to get penetration, a disruptive force in the backfield of the Kansas City Chiefs. And Brian Waters, he's no slouch. He's one of the best guards in the NFL. And Seymour just using like a rag doll.
4-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah, tossing him aside and making the tackle.
Chiefs have failed on their previous 3rd and 1s today. Jones gets it. Lilja leads and they fail again. Stopped in the play by Desmond Bryant. 44-yard line, and that'll be a 3 and out for the Chiefs and Coach Todd Haley.
We told you the Raiders thought they could win the physical battle at the point of attack. And now they just need to compete in terms of the mental battle and avoid the penalties and mistakes and the costly turnover.
Nick Miller is back. Tom Cable told us on Saturday morning, he said, you know what, we think we got more speed than the Chiefs do on special teams. We feel we got an advantage there.
Now it's time to make plays. He said they can't just talk about it, they have to make plays.
Colquitt's punt. 15-yard line. Tucker can't get him. He's brought down. Studebaker was there. Mays was there. 2-yard return, 41-yard punt. Here come the Raiders, who trail 10-0. It's been raining most of the game. Chiefs on top. A Castle touchdown pass. Slippery ball. We've seen a fumble by McFadden already for the Raiders.
It's affected the home team more so than the visiting team.
After the Chiefs 3 and out, 1st and 10. McFadden. Austin Walker trying to give a block, and then you see Tyson Jackson, who begins this series as the left defensive end. It's a gain of 3 to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, the Oakland Raiders have to come out and play much more crisp in early going of the game, not securing the football when thrown to him on the perimeter. We've seen fumbles from Darren McFadden putting the ball on the ground. In the center, Samson Satele can't get the ball to his quarterback. So we've seen a number of miscues from an offense, 3 punts, 2 fumbles, only 2 first downs from an offense that put up 92 points in their last 2 ball games and over 500 yards total offense in each of their last 2 games as well.
Khalif Barnes in tight near side for the Raiders, 2nd down and 7. Campbell going deep for 4, working, oh, he dropped the ball. Working on Flowers at the 32. He had it, and he dropped it.
I think Flowers provided the distraction, grabbing that right arm. You know, Flowers, he was a step behind of Ford. Ford's got blazing speed. Now watch the right arm. See, well, he just dropped that one. It hit him in the midst But Flowers certainly took a swipe at him, serving as a distraction at the perfect time. So just a good play. Flowers emerging as one of the better cornerbacks in the National Football League, really beginning to blossom.
Chiefs with 6 in the secondary, 3rd and 7 for Campbell, the ex-Redskin. Right up the middle they come. Screen pass. Great play defensively by Derek Johnson. A loss of 5. Back to the 15.
Romeo Cornell. Yeah, Romeo Cornell's group is playing well. Look at the pressure coming late through the middle, and then watch the coverage on the back end. So Tamba Hali running a stunt in the face of quarterback, and then the tight coverage as well. Pressure on the quarterback, tight coverage on the receiver, reading the screen and diagnosing the play is Derek Johnson. Excellent read and recognition on defense.
Leckler again. Javier Arenas is deep back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Great hang time. Coverage is there from the 28. Got a block, finds a seam, flags on the field, and there he goes with the punter to beat. He gets by Leckler. He's being chased by the rookie into the end zone. Brown couldn't catch up. Flags are down. It was great hang time, too. On that 56-yard punt and a 72-yard return if it stands. And the body language of both teams says it will not.
Still have to be impressed with the speed and quickness of Javier Arenas. Smooth runner and a wonderful player as a rookie.
During the return, illegal blocking him back. Number 29 of the return team.
Rookie.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Eric Berry caught right there, wipes away that 72-yard punt return. They had one earlier, the Chiefs did, by Dexter McCluster in the rain against San Diego on opening weekend, Monday night. Arenas couldn't get that one to duplicate.
Arenas is going to be looking for more. He wasn't even fazed by Shane Leckler's position. He blew right by him. And you can't say enough about the rookies. Yeah, Berry was penalized on the play, but he, Arenas, and Moyaki, the contribution they're getting for the rookies, it's like playing with house money.
Bryant will be in for Seymour on the defensive line here for the Raiders, who do have a sellout for the first time since last season, opening Monday night. 1st and 10, the Chiefs at the Kansas City 21. There's a flag. Here comes Shaughnessy after the scrambling Castle. Throws it away as he was hit. And that's going to be offside.
Castle pressured on the play by number 77, Matt Shaughnessy, a penalty flag on the play.
Castle, who has played in this stadium just a couple years ago for the Patriots in these same exact conditions for New England.
And played well.
4 touchdown passes.
Offside defense, number 99, line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Rookie out of Texas, Lamar Houston. Yep, a couple years ago when Tom Brady was out with the blown knee, Castle was taking his place the entire season. And on the week that he buried his father, his dad died earlier in the week, he came in here and threw 4 touchdown passes. That one to Wes Welker right there. And they beat him 49-26. 1st and 5, another flag. Thomas Jones, who was taking it right there. He was brought down by the ex-Jacksonville Jaguar, Quentin Groves, as he was out to about the 25-yard line. Minimal gain.
Offside defense, number 37, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Another penalty. That's 7 now on the Oakland Raiders. These new Raiders look like the old Raiders, don't they?
Yeah, and they're almost hitting their game average of 9 penalties per game. As we said, most in the National Football League, already with 7 in the first half.
Charles, 1st and 10. Pope was in the block. He dies. There's another flag. The block was on Cam Wembley. And out to the near side at about the 42-yard line was rumbling Charles. Gain of 11. Let's see what happens on this one.
We've had a penalty flag thrown on 3 consecutive plays.
Holding, number 45 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That was 6'8" tight end Leonard Pope, former Arizona Cardinal.
He's got it. Look, here he is right here. Now, you can't get the hands on the outside shoulders, inside, but see, it's outside there. And so you allow the runner to get to the edge and to the second level because you have your hands wrongly placed on the defender and grabbing the jersey of Cameron Wembley.
You know, we officially still have not had a play run on this series. We've had one penalty after another.
Wow.
First and 20. Charles. Bouncing, chased, Wembley, tripped him up. Out of bounds, he flies, and that is what happens when Charles gets the ball. He is the number 8 rusher in the NFL. It's a gain of 3 to the 24.
You know, moments ago we were talking about Matt Castle and him playing well in this weather. During his visit, even when he was with New England, he's already shown us that he can handle the football and handle the passing game today. When we talked to him last night, he felt like he and his receivers had an advantage playing in these kind of conditions. I know it's taught by Bill Belichick. The receivers know where they're going in these kind of conditions. The defensive player doesn't.
2nd and 17, looking for Moiaki, and he fends off the defender. Branch and makes the catch at the 48-yard line. Knocking away Branch, picks up a 24-yard gain. What a play by the rookie Moiaki out of Iowa.
And what a throw by Matt Castle. We talked about him and his receivers feeling like they had the advantage in these kind of conditions, dropping this one right in the basket. Moiaki willing to go up and contend and fight for the football.
Here's Charles on 1st and 10. Cam Wembley wraps his arms around, brings him down, gain of a yard to the 48-yard line. Just get back on that point you made earlier about, you know, playing in these kind of conditions. They practice weekly with a wet ball, and for this very purpose.
They have drills, they prepare for it, and then the footing is the main thing. And you can see it's a wet and muddy field. Now, the guy who can stay on his feet and make an athletic move in these conditions, usually it's the offensive player who understands and already knows where he's going when he makes his cuts.
2nd down and 9. The blitz is on from Branch, and outside undercutting the route run by the receiver, Bo, is the throw by Castle. The coverage across the way was on Bo by Stanford Round. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, the pressure in the face of Matt Castle forced him to throw the ball before his intended receiver, Bo, was ready. So good pressure provided by the Raiders on defense. Big 3rd down play. If you're the Kansas City Chiefs, where do you go in this situation? You're going to put the game in the hands of Matt Castle. He has to make good decisions and accurate throws.
Extra defensive backs Ware along with Mitchell. 3rd down and 9. Blocked by Richardson, the right tackle. That is a 1st down catch by Terrence Copper, the 7-year veteran out of Eastern Carolina. Working on the near side, working on Michael Huff. 19-yard pickup. They'll put him at the 32 of the Raiders.
They play a lot of man coverage, and watch Chris Johnson. He's got to be able to shrink the distance between he and the receiver, Tucker, who he's covering, and he doesn't even make the tackle. Can't even get him out of bounds. And so you've got to tighten up the coverage to prevent the catch. More importantly, if you're Johnson, you've got to be able to make the tackle on Copper.
How about this drive? They've got Moiaki for a catch of 23 yards. Copper right there for 19.
You see Kevin Ross, defensive back coach, telling Johnson, you got to shrink the distance between you and the receiver.
1st and 10. This is running back Thomas Jones, and he was brought down on the play by Matt Shaughnessy. Kevin Ross used to be a defensive back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And a very good one.
Yes, he was. It'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 32.
How about this rivalry, Kevin, between two old AFL teams who fought for legitimacy and fought for respect? The Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders back on top again inside of this division.
Castle has thrown a touchdown pass. Raiders have coughed it up. We're at the 2-minute warning, and the Chiefs are shutting out Oakland. Well, you knew with Asamoah out, they would work on Chris Johnson, his replacement, and sure enough, those numbers tell an interesting story.
Thrown at him 3 times. They've caught 2 of them, and that 3rd time was a 35-yard penalty, so 66 net yards for the Chiefs when throwing at Johnson.
It's Bo outside on that 2nd down and 10. He was wrestled down by Routes, and they'll put the ball at about the 23-yard line. It's a pickup of 9. It's close to a 1st down. Bo has caught a touchdown pass in 3 consecutive games for Kansas City.
For offenses like the Kansas City Chiefs and a very smart offensive coordinator like Charlie Weiss, they'll look and find an area where they know they can attack. Now, they believe they can run the ball. They're not going to get away from that. They've already run it 20 times and thrown it 11 times, but when they do throw it, they seem to be targeting Chris Johnson.
Jones in 3rd and 1. Moiaki, and he dropped the ball at the 22. He caught a long pass on this drive earlier of 23. 4th down, Chiefs are going to have to go for 3 points here.
A rare sighting, Tony Moiaki. Look, he tried to catch it with his hands. That's the right thing, but got to possess it, fighting the ball just a little bit, and needing to look it in. Obviously trying to run while catching. Looks like he was trying to run before he actually hauled it in.
Chiefs now 0-4 on third down today. Last week, the Raiders held Seattle's offense to 1 for 16 on third downs. It was a 41-yard try. Earlier, Succop had one from 43 to extend the Kansas City lead, and he does. 13. Oh, flag is thrown. 29-yard line. Late flag came out.
Holding, number 96, the offense.
Studebaker.
10-yard penalty. Repeat fourth down.
So we have 7 penalties on the Raiders, and now on Kansas City 6 for the day.
On the right side, take a look at it, see if we get some movement.
Here's Holden.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you start stretching that jersey, it becomes pretty clear, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Now, Studebaker has really been a nice player for Todd, a young player for Todd Haley. The career long for Succop is 53. This will be a 51-yarder. Little breeze, heavy air because it's been raining all day, misting right now. As the Chiefs try to build upon their lead. 51-yard try. Fake and a pooch. No one is there. Will it stay in bounds? We got the English and it rolls in. So the Chiefs will send it back. It's a touchback. It's a 33-yard punt in essence by Succop. Well, we have seen some interesting special teams calls today, haven't we?
Yeah, Todd Haley said we wanted to pin him deep inside the 10 or 5-yard line. That ball rose into the end zone. He wasn't happy.
Over 440 yards today for the Vikings. You see this interesting note here on the Raiders, what they've done offensively the last 2 games.
But struggling today.
Distance in from the 20 on the touchback. Intercepted by McGraw. And he's got room to roam. Getting a block on the play from Washington. Out of bounds about the 25. A 20-yard return. The Kansas State Wildcat McGraw, who is, as you can see, slow to get up on the second Raider turnover today.
All week you heard the Oakland Raider coaches talk about Jason Campbell and saying we need to improve at quarterback. We need to improve on offense. I'd say, how do you get over 500 yards total offense as we take a look at this throw? And just a poor decision by Jason Campbell. And after so much productivity the last 2 weeks on offense, how do you get better? How do you improve? They said, wait, we need more consistency out of the quarterback, Jason Campbell. And there you see a lack of it. Cost him a turnover.
We're under 2 minutes, and so this is a review from the press box, the NFL booth up here.
Because he's a guy that when the play breaks down, he really does
Kansas
positive
City
things.
player intercepts the ball, but is touched down by contact at the 45-yard line of Oakland. It's 1:02 on the game clock. Reset the game clock to 1:02. It'll be 1st and 10 for Kansas City on the Oakland 45.
And alert, Johnny Lee Higgins is the guy who got him on the shoulder while his knee was down.
And he said the 35-yard line. I think he meant to say the 45-yard line is where the ball is going to be placed.
We began our broadcast. You can see the turnover story right there, which is significant. We said earlier, this is the biggest game for the Raiders in probably 8 seasons since the Super Bowl year of 2002.
Oh, absolutely, particularly so late in the year. And now they have to show up here in the first half.
Charles in motion, 1st down and 10. Jamaal Charles, Mitchell, chase him out of bounds. Another flag at the 50-yard line, which was 5 yards in the backfield. 13-yard gain as it stands right now for Jamaal Charles to the 32.
Illy use of hands to the face, number 93 of the defense. Penalties declined. The result of the play is a 1st down.
That's Tommy Kelly.
And the 8th penalty for the game called on the Oakland Raiders. They're seeking their first 3-game win streak since 2002. When you talked about how successful they were and had us run to the Super Bowl. Well, if they're going to get that 3rd game here today, they're going to have to cut down on these penalties and mistakes.
1st and 10 from the 32. Charles at the side of Castle. Copper on the left slot. Richardson with the block at the right tackle. Nice backpedaling catch by Bo, who's had trouble hanging out of the ball Huff is over there with Branch. Down to the 13-yard line. It's a 19-yard catch for former #1 pick out of LSU, Dwayne Bowe.
Excellent strike by Matt Castle. It's a back shoulder throw to Dwayne Bowe, who was highly anticipating the ball to be in that area. He rewards his quarterback by making a catch. So the chemistry now that we see between quarterback and wide receiver is working. And well, you have to wonder what words are being whispered in the ear of Jason Campbell.
Chiefs operating with 3 timeouts. And a timeout taken right here. The clock at 51 seconds. The Raiders have taken a timeout. They've got 1 left. Matt Castle has thrown a touchdown pass today. He's got his offense on the move again. Late first half. Back in Oakland. A couple turnovers by the Raiders. A lot of penalties against Oakland so far. They've got 7. But the Chiefs have 6 themselves. 51 seconds to play here. Oakland just took a timeout. It is 1st and 10 for Castle and the offense of Kansas City at the 13. The sun has worked its way through. Charles in the backfield. And for Bowe, knocked away beautifully at the last second by Jeremy Ware. He's a rookie out of Michigan State. Nice play by the rookie.
Kansas City Chiefs taking a shot in the end zone. It's been nearly a year and a half since they've had a turnover inside the red zone. And that's just a wonderful play because that ball appeared to be thrown very well to Dwayne Bowe. Just a great defensive play.
One thing I do notice about this Kansas City team, they've got a nice blend of veterans and young players on this ball club.
And tremendous leadership. Mike Vrabel talked about that when we spoke with him, and something that Todd Haley wanted for his football team. Good mix of veteran players and talented young rookies.
Chiefs burned their first timeout. 2 remaining on the move, leading by 10. Kind of an interesting time here. 47 seconds remaining in the half. Being down by 13 and 17 is a lot different than being down by 10. If you're the Raiders.
I think demoralizing.
Yeah.
If you're the Oakland Raiders and you allow a touchdown off the turnover by Jason Campbell to become more points on the board for the Kansas City Chiefs.
McClain, by the way, is out, the middle linebacker. Bad hit. We don't know if he's going to return. Ricky Brown taking his place. 2nd down and 10 for Kansas City. Chiefs with 2 timeouts from the Raider 13. Well, here comes Tom Cable running out in the field, and he is going to take a timeout. That's the last timeout for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, here's what Tom Cable was seeing. 2 guys run off instead of 1. Now they only have 10 defenders on the field. Very hard to keep the Chiefs out of the end zone. You only have 10 defenders, and here you see Tom Cable saying, yeah, let's call a timeout. Make sure we have enough players on the field. So miscommunication by the Oakland Raiders.
Jones is in the backfield. 2nd down and 10. Jones 11 carries and only 8 yards today. Hit by Seymour and sails away. Bowe was back there and close at least. Mike Mitchell was defending. 3rd and 10. The number is on Castle.
Everyone knows the Oakland Raiders like to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and Kansas City Chiefs are running a lot of rub techniques or picks on defenders, trying to free up one of their wide receivers to get into the end zone. Todd Haley talked about it. He says, yeah, we're going to try it, but they've seen so much of it that they tend to defend those routes very well.
Raiders have just put in their 6th defensive back. It's 3rd down and 10. Charles in the backfield. Blitz by Branch to the end zone for Copper. Almost picked off by Rout. There's a flag.
Wow. This could give the Kansas City Chiefs, if it's a penalty on the Raiders, could give them the ball right at the goal line. Stanford Rout was playing the ball. Well, there was some hand fighting, yes. Did it prevent the receiver from making a catch on the ball?
Prior to the pass, holding 26 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Wow. Stanford Rout is hot. Let's see if the contact with the hands prevented. I don't know. Where was the push? Where was the push? How did he gain an advantage by having his hands on the receiver? It looked like Copper did a flop move more than anything. Now, Rout should have caught the ball. If anything, they should have penalized him for that.
So it's 1st and goal at the 8. Castile is in. Oh, look at the great movement inside by Huff. Blitzing from the corner. Throwing it back for a loss to the 15-yard line. Former #1 pick out of Texas, Michael Huff. #2 tackler on this Raider defense.
How about John Marshall, defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders, dialing up a much-needed blitz to create a big play for the Oakland Raiders on defense. Watch Huff come right up the gut. Number 24, there he is. It opens up, and he hits Castle from the blind side. Castle never saw him coming.
That's only the 4th sack of Matt Castle this season. We began by telling you only Peyton Manning had been sacked less than Castle this year.
And how do you come that wide open on the blitz?
I don't know.
I think Huff's ability to disguise his intent to rush the quarterback, and they never accounted for him in their protection scheme.
Well, they got exotic blitz schemes on this defense of the Raiders.
Clearly, you just saw one there. Very effective.
Charles remains. 2nd and goal at the 14. Albert with a block in time and intercepted by the rookie Ware. Wow, that's the first interception thrown by Matt Castle since September.
And they had gone 25 consecutive games without a turnover inside the red zone. We talked about it. He throws this ball up. Look how many defenders are there. The ball is tipped up. And then Jeremy Ware comes down with the interception. I thought Matt Castle threw this ball into a very crowded area. Tony Moyaki could not come down with it. You intercept all tips and overthrows, so really good play by the Raiders on defense.
That's the red zone number right there in a long time. That's the first interception thrown overall in 136 consecutive passes, and they're going to go to the locker room, are the Raiders. Thankful they only trail 10-0. At halftime. Well, Castle looks ticked off as he and Haley have a little discussion on the sideline.
No, I thought Castle could have been more conservative and not take the shot down the middle of the field where there's so many defenders, and I'm sure that's what Todd Haley is saying.
Ware has his first career interception. Castle has thrown a touchdown pass. Raiders have turned it over twice. We're at halftime in Oakland, and the Chiefs leading Oakland 10-0. Welcome back to Oakland, California, where the Kansas City Chiefs are on top 10-0. Well, an interesting first half. Let's take a look at the points of protection brought to us by Allstate today.
Yeah, the points of protection, obviously, you got to talk about the way that both teams have played, and the inability to protect the football, I think, has to be priority number one. The Kansas City Chiefs, in terms of their ability to finish drives where they've had opportunities inside the red zone, they've been able to capitalize. And then the Oakland Raiders, 2 turnovers in this game, and I think it's just been one of those things where they have not focused in this kind of weather, so they have to be able to clean up their act. 14 total penalties for 130 yards against the Oakland Raiders, and so they have to begin to play so much better here in the second half. I believe they will. I'm sure Tom Cable has talked to his football team at halftime and talked about those points of protection, protecting the football, fewer penalties, and they've got to begin to get more production in the second half out of their quarterback, Jason Campbell. Only 9 yards passing in the first half of the game.
And our second half is underway. Jacoby Ford from the 5. Finding room, and there he goes! Oh, the Raiders have started the second half in high fashion. 94-yard return. No flags. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know why we had that up there, but it was wrong. There are no flags on the field.
No flags, and much to the delight of Tom Cable and the Oakland Raiders. Cable told us, we have to make plays on special teams. They're going to bring it back to this side. Look at that. Excellent play, no holding, no penalty flags. He makes the kicker whiff, and then the speed of Jacoby Ford just torches the coverage team for the Kansas City Chiefs.
After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct. Oakland. Number 54 jumped in the stands after another player had already been in the stands. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
So the flag was thrown, and the reason why we couldn't see it is because it was thrown in the scrum that was the celebration in the back of the end zone. What about Jacoby Ford, who is a rookie out of Clemson, had his first start last week. His biggest return on a kickoff had been 64 yards against the Houston Texans. It is a 3-point game with 14:48 to play. The electrifying Jacoby Ford, 94-yard kickoff return with a nice block by Rock Cartwright, and the race the other way.
They talked about the versatility of so many players. Jacoby Ford was one of those players who were named. Marcel Reese, as well as Darius Hayward-Bay and Darren McFadden. They have talent on this roster. They have speed. All they needed was the steady hand of their coach, Tom Cable, and Hugh Jackson. But how about the special teams play to get them going here in the second half? Like I said, I thought they played better in the second half, Kevin. I didn't know it was so sudden and so immediate.
And if you go back to what we said earlier in the game about this Raider team, they told us yesterday they felt that one of their advantages coming in was speed and special teams.
Yeah, and you see that on the return by Jacoby Ford. And now their ability, I think, to protect the ball here in the second half is going to be even more important. Speed is one thing, but playing with a high football IQ, understanding when you can take chances and when you need to hold on to the football is vitally important.
They're back at the 15-yard line because of the excessive celebration penalty called after the touchdown. But here comes the kickoff by Janikowski. Javier Arenas at the 13-yard line. And Huff had a hand on it. Oh, there's a fumble on the play. Raiders say they've got it. They do. Mitchell was in there, and Mitchell may have vacuumed in the ball with a second Kansas City turnover.
It's a heated rivalry. And Tom Cable said something to his team at halftime to help them to understand the importance of this game. Javier Arenas returning it. There you see the hit. Rock Cartwright coming in, putting a helmet on the ball and lodging it and getting it loose. Look at that. Helmet on the ball, ball out on the ground, right in the hands of the Oakland Raiders.
Wildcat. McFadden. Michael Bush gets by Dorsey. Brought down by Brandon Carr. And the run down to about the 29-yard line. He picks up 5 on the play.
I think the Wildcat speaks to the versatility in their backfield. The load that is Michael Bush, and how about the talent of Darren McFadden? He's the decision maker in the Wildcat offense. Direct snap, he can hand it to the fullback, he could keep it, and then roll on the option play. If he hits the corner, he'll keep it. If there's a defender there, he'll go ahead and pitch it.
Campbell back in, 2nd down and 5. Tyson Jackson playing the left defensive end as they continue the rotation. By Beldier, tackle made by Vrabel and Jackson on McFadden. It is no gain. They stay at the 29.
And how important is it for the Oakland Raiders to get points out of this possession? Points off turnovers. We said the Kansas City Chiefs had not had a turnover in their previous 3 games. Only 4 turnovers all season long, and they've given off 0 points off turnovers. It's one of the trends that Tom Cable would like to break on this possession.
6 defensive backs for the Kansas City Chiefs, 3rd down and 5. Intercept dropped by McGraw. He had one earlier in the game. He can't find the handle right there, so it's incomplete.
Accuracy and consistency. That's what they want from Jason Campbell. This ball's not thrown, and you have to ask, was Myers being held by the defensive back? He certainly didn't fight for better position to get to that ball, and he has to get to it or it could have been intercepted.
Here comes Janikowski now, 47-yard try, trying to tie the game. What an incredible 2 minutes if he gets it, and he does not. Wide left. Wow. The Chiefs dodge a bullet after they fumble on the kickoff. So Arenas coughed it up. Raiders can't cash in. It stays 10-7 Kansas City. We have seen a little bit of everything in this game so far this afternoon.
Boy, have we. And the lack of production on offense by the Oakland Raiders, and then the missed field goal by Sebastian Janikowski really hurt the team and robbed them of some of the momentum gained by possessing the turnover.
Charles in the backfield, first down and 10. Chambers hit on the play after the gain of 5 by Stevie Brown, a rookie out of Michigan. It's up to the 42-yard line.
They're continuing to work on Chris Johnson, and boy, does he respond. Watch the break on the ball. 3-step drop, run right through the defender, leading with the shoulder to the chest area. So good hit, good contact.
By Chris Johnson. Second down and 4. Flag, that's Charles. Brought down on the play by Lamar Houston as the gain was good for a yard to the 43.
Use the hands. Hands to the face. Number 93 of the defense. That 5-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Penalty number 9 now against the Raiders.
Oh, you said they had to avoid more penalties here in the second half. You're just giving the Chiefs more opportunities to continue snapping the ball. Tom Cable, that's the part of his football team they have to get fixed if they're going to continue to make this a magical season.
Charles in on first and 10. Good block by Albert. Broken up. There he goes once again with a nice defensive play intended for Chambers. Chris Johnson is there to dive in front of the pass.
I like what I'm seeing from Chris Johnson. So many times when a young defensive back gets beat, they tend to lose their confidence. But watch how he'll compete on the perimeter. Slips in underneath with the right hand, bats this one down with the left hand free of contact. Beautiful play, excellent coverage, great timing.
Play clock at 10. Second down and 10. Thomas Jones is in. Oh. Moiaki throws from behind. There's a flag, horse collar on the Raiders. Another penalty. It's good for 11 yards right now. Good for a first down to the 40-yard line. And let's see how they officially rule.
Personal foul. Horse collar. Number 52, the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Oh, we saw this play earlier on by Tony Moiaki. They get motion going one way. He reverses back. And watch the play here. This is just an excellent play. And see how he gets open? The slippage by Castle, but he still makes the nice throw as he maintains position, getting the ball to Tony Moiaki.
Moiaki has had receptions today of 15, 23, and 11 yards. On the 26, first and 10. Castle flagged down to the end zone, nobody home. Bo got caught up at the 10. Route was deep in the end zone. Flag is down at the 27.
Offside defense. Number 77 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Matt Shaughnessy.
Matt Shaughnessy, but look at Castle. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, but there's no one's there. So he's just getting rid of it, and he's not happy. He said, where are you? We could have been open on the play. There was no defenders on the back end.
Charles is in, first and 5. Good block by Waters, and inside the 10. Huff finally gets him. Ricky Brown was right there. Charles is down. 14-yard gain to the 7-yard line.
Jamaal Charles seems to be banged up. He's been a really phenomenal player. You talk about yards per rush attempt. He's been one of the more explosive running backs in the National Football League as of late.
We're going to take a look at Jamaal Charles, our third quarter clock at 11:42. Time. Well, between Jones and Charles, 17 carries and 37 yards.
Yeah, not much to show because the Raiders' run defense has been very stout at the point of attack.
Jones in right now, first and goal at the 8. Couple tight ends. The rush from Shaughnessy. The sack by Tommy Kelly. It goes back to the 17-yard line. It's a loss of 9. And for the Raiders, that's the second sack on Castle today.
Yeah, 8 sacks 1 week ago, and here's why. Look at the pressure points on the face of the quarterback. He had nowhere to go. Shaughnessy was there initially, and Tommy Kelly was there to finish him off. He wanted to go back the other way, but Shaughnessy forces him to hold on to the football.
With Jamaal Charles, second down and goal at the 17. How about the sack story? Charles, Branch, and a fumble. They say he's down at the 6. They say he is down after the catch and run of 11 yards at the Raiders 6, and he gets up slowly again.
But you see the nifty suddenness of Jamaal Charles after making this catch. Watch him make that first Raider defender miss in space. He's able to get back inside and still able to power it forward, getting close to the 5-yard line.
Remember now, the Raiders have no challenges left because
he was down, and it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
You don't need it on that play. He was down by contact.
Jones is in, third and goal at the 6. Albert the block. He gets by Seymour. Castle is down. On him, Desmond Bryant. Another sack. Third today. Loss of a yard. Back to the 7.
We told you the Raiders can pressure the quarterback. An outstanding defensive line with Trevor Scott, Tom Kelly, Richard Seymour, and Matt Shaughnessy. Look how they keep him inside the pocket. Seymour has the initial pressure, and yet they're able to finish him off with Desmond Bryant.
So the defense does their job for the Raiders. They relegate the Chiefs to a 3-point try. Here is Suckup. This one was good from 43. Remember last time he had a pooch punt? So this is his second try, 25-yard try. And he gets it 13-7, the Chiefs. 9:41 to play. We're in the third quarter from Oakland on CBS. Castle and that Kansas City offense had it first to go at the 8. They had to settle for 3, and they're on top 13-7 over the Raiders.
Yeah, the red zone opportunities, the inability to convert it into touchdowns still leaves the Raiders with an opportunity to take the lead. Jacoby Ford already has returned 1 for a touchdown.
94 yards. Change the game. Suckup. Ford from the 5. And Jackie Battle among the many. Eric Berry was in there too. 21-yard return. Well, tomorrow on CBS, murder, lies, and corruption. Push Hawaii 5-0 to the edge. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new drama. Hawaii 5-0. That's tomorrow only on CBS. So here come the Raiders. The defense is doing the job. How about this? The Raiders have had it 9 times. No first downs on 8 of those 9 possessions. First and 10, Campbell. Ford. The coverage on the play by Brandon Flowers. Knocking him out of bounds at the 42. 19-yard pickup and a first down.
It's the longest play of the game on offense for the Oakland Raiders. Their longest play in the first half was that of 14 yards, and Campbell had only completed 4 passes in the first half, all to running back. So finally completing one on the outside to a wide receiver for the first time here in the game.
First down since 8.5 minutes left in the first quarter. McFadden finds room to roam, hurdling Berry and galloping down the sideline to the 24-yard line. Run out of bounds, 34-yard run by Darren McFadden, number 7 in the NFL.
A block down and then the kick out. This is the power run plays that McFadden ran while at Arkansas. The kind of plays he was not allowed to run the first 2 years with the Oakland Raiders. Hugh Jackson was able to recognize what his player, Darren McFadden, does best. What run plays would he be eager to participate in? And boy, you just saw it.
Bush was in. Handoff to Reese, the former college wide receiver, converted to a fullback here with the Raiders. Gain of 4. Goes Marcel Reese down to the 20-yard line of the Chiefs.
So important for any offensive coach to know what their players do best and to tailor what you do to their talents. McFadden, as you saw in that play, he was determined to get behind the kick-out block, and boy, was he able to hit the hole and accelerate at the second and third level of the defense.
Bush is in, second down and 6. Johnny Lee Higgins, wrapped up by Flowers. 3-yard gain down to the 17-yard line. Higgins with only his 4th catch of the season.
Well, at least they're starting to get the wide receivers into the game plan, into the flow of the offense. And now with a red zone possession, the Raiders are literally one play away from taking the lead in this ball game, even though the Chiefs have played so well.
Doesn't seem like it, does it, huh?
It sure doesn't.
Doesn't seem like they should be this close.
But they are an explosive bunch. And when they play smart, they play so much better.
McFadden back in 3rd and 3. McFadden. Into McGraw. Out of bounds at about the 2. A catch and run of 15 yards. 1st and goal, the Raiders.
3 years in the NFL, I've never seen McFadden finish off runs like this.
That's the Raiders' first 3rd down conversion today. How about that? And look where they've got it. 1st and goal at the 2. Michael Bush is in.
Watch Reese coming out of the backfield.
Bush. Reese the lead. Backed up, brought down. Derek Johnson among the many there to bring him down. And also Arenas, as you see, no gain, 2nd down and goal.
We said Reese have to be able to block. What did Mike Vrabel tell us? He wasn't impressed with the blocking of Marcel Reese. He said he catches the ball like a wide receiver, but he blocks like one also, which is never a compliment. And so Reese has to prove to opponents that he can finish off blocks and get the runner to the 2nd level. I think it's the area of his game where he has improved the most.
Bush remains 2nd down and goal. The fake. Touchdown, Khalif Barnes. The tackle eligible. The Raiders have tied the game.
Give credit to Hugh Jackson understanding the talents of his football players and the talent on his team. We talk about versatility. Khalif Barnes, you mentioned it at the top of the game. There he is. He's a tight end. An offensive lineman playing tight end. He releases the ball in the belly of the big man for a touchdown.
Shades of Mike Vrabel for Kansas City. He caught a pass last week, his first for 6 yards, and he catches a 2-yard touchdown pass right there. For the lead from Janikowski. 6:13 to play. Big plays. Ford caught one for 19. McFadden a run of 34. Then the 2-yard touchdown pass to the offensive lineman.
Kickoff for the Raiders.
2 second-half scores. Right there you got a Barnes 2-yard touchdown pass. The offensive lineman who was a tackle eligible. And the ensuing kickoff by Janikowski. Here's Arenas a yard deep. He fumbled the last time. Around the helmet he was taken down. Michael Huff gets him at the 21-yard line with a 22-yard return.
21-yard line.
Well, tonight on, and we got a player down, and that is Tyvon Branch. Oof. They start wobbling like that, I hold my breath.
And he's expected to walk out on the field and play defense. Now
Not-
you're going to
now
have to
he's
bring
not.
in his substitute. Yeah, you need to take a sit down on the bench.
The good news is he's walking. The bad news is Tyvon Branch thinks he's Cliff Branch.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah,
right.
he's shaking off the cobwebs, and let's hope he's okay. Watch him come in right there, number
Ooh.
33, led
With his
right
helmet.
there at the head and shoulder, which is what you don't want to do. Don't leave your feet and become a projectile. Not only can you hurt someone else, you can hurt yourself as well.
Mike Mitchell will take his place in the secondary. Jones in the backfield, 1st and 10. Thomas Jones, big hole, good block by Lilja. Huff, Brown bring him down, gain of 6 on the play. We saw Charles stagger off the field the last time the Chiefs had it. Jones is in right now. We'll try to get an update on Charles if he is indeed injured. 2nd and 4. Jones is in, and the call. Lilja pulling, Tackle by Shaughnessy, gain of 3, and he's up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they're running behind Lilja, going to the left side behind Brandon Albert and Brian Waters. Casey Wegman at the center position, anchoring that offensive line. And this is where the Kansas City Chiefs want to win football games. In the second half, on 3rd and 1, powering the running game. Everyone here in the stadium knows they're going to run it. You got to always watch Moyaki slipping out for a pass, but Chiefs, they want to run the football.
And Charles is in. Chiefs 0-4 on 3rd and 1. The fake to Castillo.
He's open.
Going deep, and he's got Moyaki. Through his hands and complete at the 33. Coverage by Mitchell, the guy taking the place of the starter, Tyvon Branch. 3 and out for the Chiefs. They got to punt the ball.
You have to always watch the tight end. They want to get him open, and then they want to be able to slip him beyond the defense. Number 81, and they don't keep their eyes on him. He gets behind the secondary. It's overthrown by an inch, or he's going to have a big play for the Chiefs on offense.
Colquitt to punt. Nick Miller is back. Short, bad punt. Out of bounds. Boy, he shanked it horribly. Flag is thrown, 37-yard line, and it was just thrown after the ball was out of bounds. 23-yard punt as it stands right now. Colquitt from the famous Colquitt punting family. His dad was a punter for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
During the kick, holding. Number 53 of the receiving team.
Thomas Howard.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Why?
Another penalty for the Raiders. The 13th of the game. They've got the ball. They lead by 1. Raiders today with 13 penalties, 2 turnovers, a 94-yard kickoff return by a rookie, a missed field goal. That's their day. They've got it. First down and 10. Solomon at the 38-yard line in their own zone. McFadden is in the eye. Blocked by Reese. To the tight end, taking the place of Zach Miller. That is Brandon Myers. Near McGraw. Holly over there, 13-yard pickup. It's a first down to the Kansas City 49.
Yeah, they like the second-year player from Iowa. Played with Tony Moyaki collegiately, and now Myers making a play, replacing Zach Miller at the tight end position. He's proven that he can be a serviceable weapon in this offense.
First and 10. McFadden popped up. Dorsey was right there. Gobbled him up. No gain on the play. They stay at the 49-yard line. Second down and 10. Sean Smith is in the defensive end rotation now for the Chiefs. Here comes Ali. Got him. Tamba Hali going around the rookie left tackle, grinding his way in. Second sack today by the Chiefs. A loss of 5, back to the 46.
Ali just kept working against Jarrett Valdir. Watch him coming around the right side. 68 is the rookie from Hillsdale College. They like him, but he was back on his heels. He wasn't able to establish a strong base. See, he's got to be low. He's too high, he gets knocked back, and that's where Tamba Hali, as a relentless pass rusher, is able to work his way to the quarterback.
Who do you think was the most famous football player out of Little Hillsdale in Michigan?
Oh, that's a very good question.
I got the Chester Markle for the Green Bay Packers. It's third down and 15. Into the nickel, chased by Barry. Got him again. Also, Dorsey was over there. That's another sack for the Chiefs. A loss of 2. That's the third sack today, registered by the defense. Campbell slow to get up, back to the 44.
Eric Berry comes all the way here, clear to the other side of the field, tracking the quarterback. This is speed. This is talent. When you're the 5th overall pick in the draft, this is what you get. And boy, did they hit a home run by drafting him out of the University of Tennessee. An excellent player, I think, blossoming into a star in Kansas City.
He's had a couple fourth quarter interceptions back-to-back. One against Buffalo, one against Jacksonville. You're right, they love him.
And the uncanny instincts. You notice how he was able to disguise the fact that he was blitzing. And then he was able just to explode and track the quarterback.
Good point. Leckler to punt. Arenas stands back at the 10. Waves it off. Out of bounds. Well-placed punt about the 17-yard line. Well, you talked about this earlier. The players right now playing, they don't know much about the rivalry, but the people that follow the NFL, they know a lot about what this rivalry means.
51 years now they've been playing. They've had 100 meetings. This is the 101st. They don't like each other. They play hard. They play physical. And of course, late Lamar Hunt established this team. And then how about the great Al Davis, Hank Stram, great names, great Hall of Famers, part of this rivalry, and the fans here love it.
Brave Kansas City fans to be there, shrouded around the black hole members.
There are some good fans here.
There are.
I'm walking amongst them and having a good time.
Charles in the backfield, 1st and 10. Good block by Albert. Ricky Brown makes the stop, 24-yard line. That's a gain of 6, and Terrence Copper has played for Dallas and New Orleans, and Dallas making the catch.
Jason Campbell going down hard after the hit by Eric Berry. They're taking a look at that left knee area. Boy, they're going to need him. Not so sure that Bruce Gretkowski, they said it would take maybe another week before he'd be ready. He's listed as the 3rd quarterback today, Kevin.
And if he comes in, they got to keep him until the 4th.
Absolutely.
But we've only got, clock ticking, just about 2 minutes left. So inconsequential. 2nd down and 4. Charles remains. Boy, bodies were moving all over the place.
The defensive players are allowed to come into that neutral zone area and get back in time. The offensive linemen have to hold their water. They cannot move.
Neutral zone infraction, 92 the defense. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
Richard Seymour.
Penalties galore for the Oakland Raiders.
And now 14 penalties on the day. That is a season high, Solomon, for the Raiders.
It's just another game between these two. Couple of fake punts, a pooch punt, a flea flicker, 5 wildcat plays, a kickoff return for a touchdown, 20 penalties combined by both teams, and 1 reception for a touchdown by an offensive lineman. So doing everything they can to win the football game. Both teams are.
Raiders still have 2 starters out. McClain is being taken out of the game because of a hit, and Brown has taken his place. And still no sign of Tyvon Branch taking his place is Mike Mitchell. 1st and 10. Charles, and out of bounds across the way. Groves among a couple over there, and a 7-yard catch and run. Mark him out of bounds at about the 36. Branch, by the way, has a concussion, will not return.
Wow. Over the last few years, I think the Kansas City Chiefs really lacked explosive playmakers on this football team. And now you get Jamaal Charles, who really blossomed in the back end of last season as they made a nice run and close out the year playing well.
Thomas Jones is in on 2nd down and 3. And he's brought down on that defensive line by Cam Wembley. He came from the linebacking core. It's a gain of 6. And push him to the 41. He gets the 1st down.
And as you see, Thomas Jones picks up the 1st down. He goes out. In comes Jamaal Charles. What did Todd Haley tell us about those guys? He had mentioned to the team that those 2 guys were competing against each other, and it was really good for the team. They called in their head coach and say, hey, we're not competing against one another. We're rooting for one another. How about that kind of leadership from Thomas Jones?
Charles is in right now. 1st and 10. Whoop. Albert moved. But they can run the same plays for each guy.
Yeah, both guys are different.
False start, 76 to the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Yeah, both guys are different but eerily similar in that they can both run the inside plays. Both guys can run to the edge, and for Todd Haley says it's a huge luxury to have 2 different types of runner who can run the same plays. And so they love what they have through their free agent acquisition of Thomas Jones, and what they add also having Jamaal Charles.
After the 1st second-half penalty on the Chiefs, 1st and 15. Charles is in there. They get around Albert. There's a block over there by Waters. Charles out of bounds. He is shoved by Stevie Brown. The catch and run, and boy, he is quick. 14 yards. And spot him just inside Raider territory, just inside the 50-yard line.
Quick enough to get to the edge, but he's not afraid to run it inside in between the tackles as well. And he catches it on the edge. And I'm on Maurice Carthon. As you see him in camera, he's a guy that's worked well with both running backs. This is a fine coaching staff. You hear about the coordinators, but Carthon, he's a very good assistant coach in his own right.
Jones is in. Castle looks into the nickel, 2nd and 1. Thomas Jones, a pull there by Lilja. And a tackle is made by Stevie Brown. Gain of 6 down to the 44-yard line. That's a look at our game right there. A kickoff return of 94 yards, the big play for the Raiders.
And the Raiders came into this game scoring the most points in the first quarter of any team in the National Football League, but was shut out in the first quarter of this game.
5 defensive backs, 1st and 10. First play of the 4th quarter. Charles is in, out of his reach. Coverage by Groves. 2nd down and 10.
And boy, they started this game, Matt Castle, trying to work on Chris Johnson, the defender for the Oakland Raiders. Thought he got off to a slow start early in the game, but played well as of late. He had some penalties early on. He didn't make the tackles when he needed to, but then here in the second half, this is what we've gotten for Chris Johnson. He's fought back. He's played well. Batted down some balls, replacing Nnamdi Asomugha in the starting lineup. So they're going to continue to go at him. He's got to hold up.
2nd and 10 with Tommy Kelly bearing down on him. Castle throws it away on that 2nd and 10.
You have to ask, is that intentional grounding? But they didn't throw the flag. As I understand it, in the pocket, you've got to get that thing back at least to the line of scrimmage. There's Nnamdi Asomugha out with a high ankle sprain. And anytime he's not on the field, he's sorely missed.
Raiders in the nickel. Charles is in for the Chiefs. 3rd and 10. Flag was thrown to delay a game, I think. Let's see.
Delay of game. Offense number 7. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now 3rd and 15.
Yeah, they showed an all-out blitz. The defenders moving around. Matt Castle wasn't able to lock in on what he was reading, and just by them disguising, and he was forced to kind of wait for the defense to declare. Once they declare, he ran out of time. You can see the most penalties in a game, 26 back in week 3. And boy, we're approaching that here today.
Third and 15. Deep for Bull. Incomplete. Route was there. Pressure by Seymour. Chiefs have got a punt.
Dwayne Bowe has been shut out here in the second half. Has not caught one pass from his quarterback, Matt Castle. Castle's looking for him here. Bowe had 4 catches in the first half. But as he's coming across the formation, pressure forces him to throw it early, throws it behind the intended receiver.
Colquitt, whose last punt wobbled 22 yards. Will send it downfield to Nick Miller. Out of the end zone. There was some concern by the Chiefs coaches. He tried to battle Leckler, who always kicks these booming punts. Got to stay within your game, they told him.
You are not Shane Leckler, and that's okay.
Well, this matchup is again relevant.
Once again in the AFC West, both the Raiders and Kansas City Chiefs playing in November in meaningful games as they sit on top of the AFC West division. This is a huge game, I think, for the Raiders, who will have to travel to Arrowhead Stadium later in the season.
Campbell is in. McFadden in the backfield. 1st down and 10. Darren McFadden. Good block by Myers. Breaking the tackle at corner. McGraw. The gain, it's a 1st down run. He's out to the 31-yard line, picks up 11 yards. They'll move the chains for the Oakland Raiders.
We saw last week McFadden just really ripped open the Seattle Seahawks defense, running right up the gut. Here you see him bouncing it to the middle, where he's still effective, making defenders miss out on the perimeter. So his versatility, speed, and quickness is ever impressive in this game. You can see the most rushing yards per game entering week 9, even above Adrian Peterson.
1st and 10. McFadden again. Carlisle with the block. Derek Johnson with the stop. He's out to the 38. You know, it's interesting because McFadden, who picks up 7 yards right there, has already got 4 100-yard rushing games this season.
Absolutely, and you saw just on those 2 plays, once going outside on the perimeter, but still the willingness to pound it inside. And that's what Hugh Jackson needs from a versatile runner. You got to prove you can run it between the tackles to keep the defense honest.
He had not had that many up until this year, or at least the success.
He has improved tremendously in his 3rd season out of Arkansas.
2nd down and 3. McFadden again. Squeaks through. Jared Johnson is there. It's a gain of 4. He's up to the 42-yard line.
Looks like it's good for a 1st down as well. So 3 consecutive runs by McFadden. This is where you have to be able to close out ball games with a 1-point lead in the 4th quarter to be able to grind out the rushing yards in between the tackles, win the war of attrition, and wear down this Kansas City defense. If you can do that, you can win yourself a ball game.
1st and 10. Here comes Tyson Jackson. There goes the ball. 2nd down and 10. Today, Campbell, 9 of 17. He's thrown a pick. He's thrown a touchdown pass.
And that was one of his better decisions in the game so far. That play was dead in the water. It was easily diagnosed by the defense of the Kansas City Chiefs. He had nowhere to go with the ball. Don't force it into coverage. Don't take a sack. Just throw it in the ground and come back and snap the ball again on 2nd down.
Second and 10. On the money. Close to a 1st down. Flowers was there. The catch by Johnny Lee Higgins. Do they rule it a reception? Indeed they do. At the Kansas City 46. 12-yard strike and a 1st down.
And we told you Brandon Flowers is one of the budding stars in this secondary for Kansas City. Very good player, but good timing and rhythm between wide receiver and quarterback on the comeback route to Johnny Lee Higgins, who catches that ball in front of Brandon Flowers and beyond the 1st down mark.
Bush is in the backfield on 1st and 10. For Bush, Ron Edwards was down and spun around and got some help right there from Sean Smith, and a gain of about a yard to the 45.
We're getting a good mix of run and pass on this possession from Hugh Jackson and the Oakland Raiders on offense. 4 run plays, 2 pass plays, and they've made the pass plays count. Jason Campbell starting to throw the ball with greater accuracy here, but the fact that they're getting movement up front on the offensive line, you can see they're doing so much better in the 2nd half with their quarterback, Jason Campbell.
McFadden is in 2nd down and 8. The hands of wide receiver Jacoby Ford. 14-13 Raiders on top. 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game, except on the West Coast. Bush is back in for McFadden. Raiders got back in this game on an opening 2nd half kickoff return of 94 yards by rookie Jacoby Ford. And a touchdown pass to a tackle eligible, an offensive lineman. 3rd and 8. Bush picks up the driving Halil. Campbell floats it. Ford under it. Oh, what a catch at the 7. McGraw was there. Carr was there.
They come alive here at the Coliseum, and Jason Campbell said, I can't chase perfection in a way where I expect it every single time. Give my guys an opportunity to make a play, and that's what he does. Jacoby Ford makes an improbable catch while falling down inside of the 10-yard line, putting the Raiders in excellent position to add more points on the scoreboard. You can see what they've done in the 2nd half, and they've come alive and responded to the halftime speech provided by Tom Cable.
Timeout taken by Campbell. It'll be 1st and goal at the 7 for the Raiders, who lead by 1 early in the 4th. The Chiefs led 10-0 at halftime. Look what the Raiders have done in the 2nd half.
And being even more dominant here in the 4th quarter, where time of possession is very important. They're dominating in this quarter.
1st and goal at the 7 with McFadden in the backfield for Campbell. McFadden stuffed. Dorsey had a hand on him. Gain of 2. Spot him at the 5.
You can see the time of possession where they are #1 in the National Football League, averaging time of possession of 9 minutes in the 4th quarter. and already playing keep away as time is whittling off the clock here in the fourth quarter of today's game. More importantly, they want points out of this possession.
This is the 10th play of the drive. Going back at their 20. Second and goal at the 5. Here comes Halil. Campbell. Bobbled incomplete. They had Flowers over there on Darius Hayward-Bay.
That ball got into the chest of Hayward-Bay.
It did.
How about Campbell buying a little bit more time, showing some poise on this drive. The one pump fake has just moved one defender out of position. And look at this ball right off the arms or hands of Darius Hayward-Bay. Watch this. And you got to make that catch for your quarterback.
Edwards will run off the field. Studebaker has come in. Chiefs have 5 defensive backs there on this 3rd and goal at the 5. McFadden at the side of Campbell. Knocked away. Arenas right in front of Johnny Lee Higgins. Raiders will go for 3. The Chiefs defense does their job.
Wow, Javier Arenas, such a valuable player. He's a rookie. And watch, we've seen him make plays on special teams. Watch as he comes in and he doesn't make a collision with the wide receiver before the arrival of the ball. He times it up perfectly with the right hand, knocking that ball away. So making some plays on special teams in today's game, and now as the nickel cornerback making plays on defense.
Janikowski missed his last one from 47. This will be a 23-yard try to extend the lead to 17-13. But they had it 1st and goal at the 7. They settle for 3. Now Matt Castle with 9:46 to play, down by 4. That's the scoring summary. Janikowski good from 23. Now it shifts to Kansas City. Well, we've had the Chicago Bears, the Vikings, and the Jets all overcome 4th quarter deficits to win today. Can the Chiefs do it on the road? Arenas from the 3. Oh, he cut outside beautifully. Knocked out of bounds by Hiram, Eugene, and Mitchell. And Janikowski getting over there. That's a 41-yard return.
Famers in one
After the
drive.
play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 96 of the receiving team taking his helmet off.
Studebaker.
The penalty is going to be declined. During the return, personal foul, low block. Number 10 of the receiving team.
Copper.
That's half the distance to the goal. First down.
9 penalties against the Chiefs, 14 penalties against the Oakland Raiders today, and they'll march this ball back, and now they're in the black hole, where it's the loudest in the stadium.
They're deep inside their own territory. That's how deep that hole is, and the fans here, I mean, they can be a weapon. They can be a 12th man for the Oakland Raiders in this defense here in the fourth quarter.
That cost them 30 yards. They would have been at the 45. Now they're back at the 15.
Now you know why Todd Haley was so concerned.
Jones in the backfield, 1st and 10. Good looking tackle by Richard Seymour. No gain, staying at the 15 to James Brown in our CBS studio.
Hey, Kevin and Solomon, the questions were, was Vic healthy coming off of that 3-game miss because of the cracked ribs? I think so. Take a look here. The play breaks down. What can he do with this feet? 32-yard pickup. That set up a 1-yard keeper by Vic. 26-17, Eagles on top. Back to Kevin and Solomon.
2nd and 10 to go deep to Bowe with the coverage by Stanford Routt. Now it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Routt, excellent coverage on the play. He thought Dwayne Bowe initiated contact. He's letting the officials know about it. Talking is not going to get it done. Only playmaking and good technique and fundamentals. Watch Stanford Routt at the top of the screen. Finds the ball. And as you can see, Bowe was feigning contact. And Routt saying, if anyone made contact, it was Dwayne Bowe. And the crowd here goes wild.
6 defensive backs, 3rd and 10. Nope. For Bowe, coverage by Routt. It's a 3-and-out for the Chiefs. The defense for the Raiders have tightened the screws.
They try to go man-to-man defensively, and they try to rub Stanford out on the pick, try to get him open. And so it's one of those deals where watch at the top of the screen. And we're going to go ahead and roll it. And take a look at the top of the screen. They're going to try to get a pick right here. But they are able to run through the pick and still able to defend the receivers.
Colquitt the punt. Miller bobbles it. As you can see, he's back to his own 25 and finally brought down by Kansas City special teamer Demario Williams. The Chiefs think they got the ball. Was there a fumble? You can see the wrestling after the play and fighting for it. A couple Raiders against one Chief. This is huge.
Wouldn't this be considered a scrum when both guys are holding on to the ball? Now a lot of Chiefs are pointing in one direction, but the officials have yet to signify it. This would be considered a scrum.
Trying to pull guys
are fighting for the ball at the bottom of the pile. They're going to go ahead and allow the Raiders to maintain possession.
Look at Triplett take control of what's going on there. Look at the fight continue for the ball.
How many times do you think the ball has changed hands at this point? Oh, they got to tell us something sooner or later.
Well, you know, we had the same kind of thing happen in the Pittsburgh-Miami game, only that was
Rock Cartwright has come out. Well, they're saying Kansas City's ball, even though an Oakland Raider has it. Take a look at this. Ball comes out. Now, you can't challenge possession of the ball. There it is right there. You can't challenge possession to see if there's a possession of the ball.
Did Verran Tucker get this ball?
Is he down? Now you can challenge that. Was he down by contact?
But they have no challenges left because they used them both in the first half. Tucker, who caught the touchdown pass back in the first half from quarterback Matt Casey. Looks like he's reeled it in.
Raiders have no challenges left. But here, the challenge would only be, was he down by contact? And let's see if he was. I don't know. Okay, he's down. Ball was down. And it had yet to come out clearly. Now, who has the ball? I think they both had it at some point. But the ball has already been awarded to the Kansas City Chiefs, much to the dismay of Tom Cable.
Chiefs have had some red zone struggles, although they're 10 yards away from the red zone right now. They're at the Raider 30, but the Chiefs had it first and goal, and they had to settle for a field goal. They had it in the red zone, and Castle threw an end zone interception. First and 10 here. On the money to the 22, Moiaki. Tackled by Mitchell. That's a gain of 8 yards on the play, and spot him at the 22.
So the third turnover in the game by the Oakland Raiders, give an extra possession to the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll take another look at it. Was he down by contact? Okay, there's a knee down. I think he was down by contact. Ball comes out way late. Both guys are scrapping for it. Both players have possession of the ball at this point. Wow.
Second down and 2. This is Jamaal Charles. Grabbed by Seymour. Gain of 3. Got the first down to the 19.
And now can the Kansas City Chiefs take advantage of the opportunity provided to them by the turnover. The Raiders are still unhappy. But at some point, Kevin, you have to move on beyond any miscue or mistake made in the game. The ball has already been awarded to the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're the Oakland Raiders at this point, you got to bow your neck and really dig in deep to get a stop here.
With Jones, first and 10. Submarines to about the 16, gain of 3. Seymour a part of the tacklers there for the Raiders.
And remember, the Raiders need to be aware of what the score is. Only a touchdown will give the Kansas City Chiefs the lead, and a field goal would not.
Turnover story today. in the red zone. Bo shut out in the second half. Here is a 2nd down and 7. Charles is in. Castile the lead block. Huff. Michael Huff throws him for a 4-yard loss. Back to the 20-yard line.
Now, this is a great play by Michael Huff, because if Jamaal Charles gets outside, he's going to walk into the end zone. Watch Huff come up here to contain the ball. That means stay outside. Don't allow him to outflank your defense. The speed of Charles would have found himself with a touchdown, but Huff saves the day.
Jones is in 3rd and 11. Oh, it's a touchdown! Dwayne Bowe, for the 4th consecutive game, has caught a touchdown pass on a rocket thrown by Castle. On 3rd and 11. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
There was some confusion on the back end for the Oakland Raiders. Watch Huff come over late, or Mitchell comes over late. So it's a nice little slant route. As Mitchell gets into position way late, they take advantage of it. Castle was well aware that the defense was not ready to play. Snapped the ball very quickly with a nice throw to Dwayne Bowe.
Here's the extra point now by Ryan Sucka. 20-17 Kansas City. The Raiders turn it over. The Chiefs cash in on this 20-yard pass to Dwayne Bowe. Matt Castle's 2nd touchdown pass today was right on the numbers to Dwayne Bowe, his first second-half reception. And the Chiefs have gone up on top of Oakland 20-17. Jacoby Ford has had a nice day as a rookie. And one of a starring debut. 3 yards deep, will take it out of the end zone. Oh, and then he's drilled by Corey Mays. 16-yard return. He's up to the 13-yard line.
And mistakes continue to cost the Oakland Raiders. This is Mike Mitchell. He's a safety. He's trying to tell the cornerback to get out. Dwayne Bowe is clearly out in the open, so Mitchell tries to get over, but watch. Castle recognizes it and goes immediately to Dwayne Bowe. And we talk about the mistakes made by the Raiders today. They would be a pretty good football team if they didn't have to play themselves as well as the opponent.
14 penalties on it.
Oh my, it's just tremendous, costly errors.
With McFadden in the backfield, 1st down and 10 for Campbell. Guys, receiver Ford. Flowers on the side with the coverage, 13-yard gain. They get the 1st down, and he's out to the 26.
And now let's see if Jason Campbell, who's trying to hold on to the starting quarterback position as Bruce Gretkowski becomes more healthy by the week. If he can lead his team down the field here in the 4th quarter to a win at home against the Chiefs, one might argue that he could keep the job, but he's got to earn it. It's not going to be given to him.
60 minutes for those of you on the East Coast and the Midwest at the conclusion of this game. 1st and 10 from the 26. Good time looking for his fullback, who drops the ball. Flag thrown. Eric Berry was on Marcel Reese. Who's this penalty on?
There's one also in the backfield.
Exactly. There are 2. One at the 21. One downfield at about the 40.
2 fouls on the play. Holding 76 of the offense. Pass interference, defense number 29. Those penalties offset. Repeat, 1st down.
Gallery for the Raiders and Eric Berry guilty for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow, and if Gallery doesn't have the holding penalty, the Raiders are looking at a big play in Kansas City Chiefs territory. They call pass interference. There he goes. He grabbed the arm of Marcel Reese, not allowing him to go for the football.
We mentioned this before. Reese was a college wide receiver at Washington. Now he's playing fullback.
He's a big guy.
Oh, my goodness.
He can run the routes and get down the field. Had Berry beaten on the play.
With McFadden, 1st and 10. Reese the lead. And Myers, nice defensive play right there by Derek Johnson. Throwing McFadden for a loss of a yard. He's back to the 24-yard line on Wednesday on CBS. A performer could go from life in the spotlight to life behind bars. Rap star Romeo guests on a new Defenders. Comes your way Wednesday, and it's only on CBS. Ball's at the 25. It is second down and 11 for the Raiders. 10-0 halftime, Kansas City lead. Raiders came back with a bang to start the second half, and a 94-yard kickoff return by a rookie, Jacoby Ford. Here comes the blitzing safety. Wide open, Hayward Bay. It'll be 3rd and 11.
These are the plays that Campbell, even while under pressure, he's got to be able to make it, because Hayward Bay is wide open, coming across the middle of the field. Yeah, he's under pressure, but once he breaks contain, look at the receiver Bay coming across the field. You've got to make that throw, and you've got to be able to hit the receiver who's open. So many near misses for the Raiders today.
Looking into a secondary that numbers 6 for the Chiefs. 3rd and 11 for Campbell. He needs the 36. Here comes Gilbert. Got him! At the 20-yard line, the 4th sack authored by the Kansas City defense. And a loss on the play of 5. They got a punt.
Wallace Gilberry, one of the emerging players also on this football team. Watch him continue to be relentless, beating Samson Satelli, the center for the Oakland Raiders, getting to the feet of Jason Campbell.
Gilberry is out of Alabama. Leckler will punt inside his 10, and Javier Arenas is back inside the 30. Another Alabama play. Bad punt by Leckler. Get away, and that's exactly what they do. Is Rock Cartwright is the one who vacuums it in. 35-yard punt, very un-Leckler-like. He is disappointed.
Boy, if the Chiefs can make really good business here on the road against the Raiders next week in Denver, they can really seize control of that division. You know San Diego's going to make a run at some point in time before it's all said and done.
If the Chiefs win, their lead would be 2.5 games in the West. 1st and 10. Jamaal Charles, the lead by Albert, and the tackle by Mitchell, among others, along with Groves. That's a little sweep of 7 yards. He's down to the Raider 48.
Now under 4 minutes left to play. If you're Charlie Weiss and Todd Haley of the Kansas City Chiefs, you've got to grind out the running game. This is where Thomas Jones tends to come into football games to earn the tough yards for the coaching staff in Kansas City. This is how you put it away to close out ball games. You got to do it running the football, and the Oakland Raiders know it. So let's see how their defense responds.
Raiders have lost 2 defensive starters today. The middle linebacker McClain, their safety Branch. 2nd down and 3. Jones is in. Thomas Jones.
Looks like he's going to be good for a 1st down, taking more time off the clock.
Yes, sir. 2 timeouts for the Raiders, 3 for Kansas City. Charles will come back in. You were right what you said before. I mean, these are interchangeable parts. Charles and Jones, they can run the same play. It doesn't matter.
They can run inside. They can run outside. And while Thomas Jones is a more powerful runner and less explosive, nonetheless, he'll break it and take it to the house. But Jamaal Charles, in these situations, you better tackle him or he'll be standing in the end zone.
Couple tight ends here on 1st and 10. Timeout Castle. That's the first they burn. Charles is in the backfield, and they're going to think it over. Pretty important play and drive for the Chiefs, holding on to a lead of 2017 late in Oakland. That's only on CBS tonight. 1st and 10. Charles chipping his way. Will corkscrew him out of bounds near the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 as it stands right now. Penalty flag was thrown on the play too on the near side. It's been an interesting day for this crew.
Holding, number 46 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
That's the lead back, Tim Castillo, the fullback.
And even with the penalty, you expect more running between both backs, Jamaal Charles and Thomas Jones. Todd Haley saying everyone step back. We don't want to get a penalty with too many players on the field. And didn't you enjoy the conversation we had with Todd Haley?
Sure
you know why this team has improved. Excellent teacher, wonderful coach, good personnel guy, 26 penalties, week 3 Green Bay at Chicago, we're approaching that today.
The confusion for the Raiders. They got 6 in the secondary, 1st and 20. Jamaal Charles blocked by Boyaki, and he's down to the 42 and brought down by Mitchell. Taking the place of the injured Tyvon Branch, their leading tackler. He's out with a concussion. 13-yard run, timeout taken by the Raiders. 1 more remaining for Oakland. I mean, just think of what happens in this game alone. Regardless, the Chargers did win today, by the way, in Houston. Great day for Phillip Rivers. But if the Chiefs can hold on and win this game, they'll lead the West by 2.5 games. And we began the broadcast today by saying this game will figure fairly prominently on how the rest of this division is going to look.
Oh, absolutely. In Kansas City, you got to feel good about yourself. You've already beaten the San Diego Chargers at home, but the Chargers will have Oakland and Kansas City left on their schedule, and they'll get to play those games at home. Both Kansas City and Oakland have already beaten the Chargers, but the Chargers were on the road, so there's still work to be done. And if you're the Raiders, you've got to cling to hope that in the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds, you can turn things around.
They had a sellout here in Oakland for the first time since opening weekend last year. 2nd down and 8. Jones in the backfield. And the call. Oh, what a great play. Richard Seymour flying through, throws him for a loss of 4, back to the 46-yard line.
He is a great player. Watch him here. Come through, and then he's able to slant and catch Thomas Jones in the backfield. You can't block him. When he is determined to make a play, you better have 2 bodies on him, or he's going to wreck your game plan.
Raiders out of timeouts. 3rd down and long for the Chiefs. Chiefs will play next week in Denver. Boy, 2 consecutive division foes on the road. Tough going for the Chiefs. Then look at the rest of the way.
At Denver, then they'll play host to the Arizona Cardinals. That trip out to Seattle is always a slippery slope. And then they're at home against Denver again. But you can see as they close out and finish out in the month of December, you have to take a trip to San Diego and to St. Louis. I'm sure the Chargers are hoping that they can just hang around and take that game at home and maybe steal a division.
Huge play. Charles will be in for the Chiefs. 3rd and 12. Castillo's back there as well. And incomplete to Bow. Coverage by Routes at the 24. It is 4th and 12. Here comes the punting unit for Kansas City.
They're trying to go with that back shoulder fade. I thought this ball was thrown a little, maybe too inside, but Bo, you got to make the catch. This ball is thrown well enough by Matt Castle. You got to reward your quarterback because he put it on the money. You got to be able to make that catch and close out the ball game.
Colquitt will punt for the Chiefs, and back inside the 10 for the Raiders is Nick Miller. From the 11. And he was brought down on the play by Kansas City's Corey Greenwood. 34-yard punt, 14-yard return. So some beginning field position for the Oakland Raiders will be at about their 25.
So no timeouts and plenty to go down the field. You've got 75 yards to go. A timeout, or excuse me, a field goal could tie the ball game, and Sebastian Janikowski has got plenty of leg, Kevin.
His career long is 61. Long this season is 54. One of the best long legs in the NFL. So here we go. 1st and 10 from the 25. To McFadden. Running out of bounds after Donald Washington, the nickelback, forced him. Losing a yard on the play to the 24. We've reached the 2-minute warning in a thriller in Oakland on CBS. Just in case Janikowski is warming up.
They can get it to that 43-yard line. It's well within his range. His career long is 61 yards. He's kicking them a lot longer than what he could face here in this situation in pregame.
The Chiefs have 6 defensive backs. 2nd down and 11 from the 24. Raiders no timeouts. for Hayward Bay, incomplete. All kinds of congestion there, thicket of Chiefs defenders, including McGraw and Donald Washington, incomplete, 3rd and 11.
Oh, you talk about consistency needed at the quarterback position. Watch Hayward Bay coming into the right side of the top of the screen. You've got to make that throw. It's well thrown, way too high. Even though I thought Bay had a chance to come down with it, but you've got to be able to hit him over the middle of the field.
Pretty good window to work with, too.
Absolutely, really good window, and Jason Campbell's capable of making the throw.
Lead the 35, 3rd and 11. And looks like it's caught. It is. Johnny Lee Higgins on down the play by Vrabel. It's a gain of 12. It is a first down for the Raiders to their 36. And again, operating with no timeouts.
And working across the middle of the field.
Look at Hayward Bay's in the wrong spot.
Wasting vital time.
Absolutely. 1st and 10. Tight end Myers taking the place of the injured Zach Miller. Walked down by Flowers. Gain of 5 to the 41.
How important was that tackle by Flowers? Not allowing him to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
2nd down and 5. 6 in the secondary. Myers again trying to run out of bounds. Washington whips him across the way, and he's to the 42. He picks up 2.
He was able to get out of bounds. Watch Myers working in coverage. I thought he could have got out of bounds with a greater sense of urgency. Make sure you get out. I know he sees that first down marker. That was really close.
60 minutes is on deck for those of you in the Midwest and the East. Later tonight on the West Coast. Interview with President Obama. 3rd down and 3. Play clock at 2. Incomplete. Flag. Washington was covering the tight end. Chiefs have been penalized 10 times. Raiders 14 times today.
Prior to the pass, holding 27 in the defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The 25th time we've seen a penalty flag thrown in the ball game today, and see Myers working against Washington, right side of your screen. Now, where was the infraction? I mean, where was it? Because I'm not seeing it.
Our target line was the 43 for Janikowski. It is a first down for the Raiders at their 48. 6 in the secondary remaining for the Kansas City Chiefs. McFadden on the draw to the 48. And gain of 4. Players down for the Chiefs. That's Washington.
Got to go ahead and down it. Spike it. Stop the clock.
No timeouts. But Washington's down. That will stop the clock right there. Chiefs had 2 timeouts. And Washington in great pain, obviously. And they're going to charge the Chiefs with the timeout. So they'll have 1 left. One of the 2 extra defensive backs back there for Kansas City is now out. That's Donald Washington. Taking his place will be veteran Travis Daniels. So Kansas City will still have 6 in the secondary. Castle with the pace. 2nd down and 6. No timeouts for the Raiders. At the Kansas City 48. Janikowski continues to warm up for Oakland. Campbell. That's caught with the tackle. Jacoby Ford makes the grab. Brandon Flowers makes the stop. Gain of 7 down to the 41, so they're within range now.
They're inside of the target line for Sebastian Janikowski.
Spiking the ball. It'll be 2nd and 10. Then Janikowski has
been here before. He's come through for this team.
Yes,
there's been other times where he hasn't.
They're reviewing the previous play.
Okay, here was not the previous play, but the play before the spike.
This got him the first down. And that was by Jacoby Ford to return that second half opening kickoff 94 yards for the touchdown.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It is a catch. Please put the game clock back to 30 seconds. 3-0 on the game clock.
They'll add 2 to 30. You could see Triplett begin to.
And so it's going to be first down.
Yes, it will.
First and 10 for the Raiders.
So the Raiders really don't lose it down there. They get that down back.
And get the timeout as
Exactly.
well.
First and 10 from the 41 of Kansas City. No timeouts for Oakland. One left for the Chiefs. Campbell, Ford, what a big-time catch at the 22. Flag is down at the 49. Coverage by Flowers. Flag is down at the 49.
The 26th penalty of the game, and a costly one.
Holding. Number 68 of the offense.
Rookie.
10-yard penalty.
Valdir.
Still first down.
Starting left tackle,
Wow.
Valdir.
Nice throw by Jason Campbell. Take a look at Valdir, number 68, working against Dambahali. Oh, there's the hole. That left arm, no doubt. Horse collared him.
By the way, that's 26 penalties accepted. We've had some decline today, too. We're well over 30 in this
Wow.
game. This ties a season high this year in the NFL. 26 penalties in the game. First and 20. First and 20 for Campbell. Welcoming our new audience. And, that was picked off, and it was grabbed by Ford.
Wow.
What a catch. Down to the Kansas City 23. Operating with no timeouts. 29-yard pickup. Spikes it on first and 10.
7 seconds remaining in the game.
Oh, my goodness.
Take a look at the sequence on the play. Brandon Flowers thought he had this ball intercepted. Jacoby Ford takes it away from him. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness.
What a play. You're talking about making a play for your quarterback. Right time, right place is Jacoby Ford. The play of the game so far.
Janikowski has come out onto the field. Holding will be Leckler. Long snap from John Kondo. Chiefs do have a timeout. Let's see if they'll try to ice him here. 41-yard try. This to tie.
For so long, the Oakland Raiders have had a tremendous advantage in the NFL. Shane Leckler is one of the league's best punters, and Sebastian Janikowski, one of the biggest legs in the National Football League, kicking the game-tying field goal. And how about that? Great play by Jacoby Ford, and Sebastian Janikowski makes his coach Tom Cable a happy man. What a rivalry. What a game.
Those of you just joining us, we've got the first place team in the West, Kansas City, 5-2. And the second place team, the Oakland Raiders, 4 up and 4 down. Look at some of the numbers of this game.
And the 2 turnovers by Kansas City, uncustomary. Tied for a season high, came into today's game with only 4 turnovers. Jason Campbell, an up and down performance, but Jacoby Ford, 94-yard kick return for a touchdown, and the biggest catch of the game, setting up the game-tying field goal by Sebastian Janikowski.
Matt Castle has thrown for a couple touchdown passes for the Chiefs, one by Campbell of Oakland. Javier Arenas is deep back, but this will be taken by the up back. And Copper will take us to overtime with the return. How about that? In a game, in a rivalry that has now become relevant with these 2 teams rebuilding, a sellout here in Oakland. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders will go to OT. I guess you expect nothing less, huh? These 2 teams.
Nonetheless.
Even when they were down, you had some interesting games, and you take a look at the overtime rules here in Oakland this afternoon.
Same as they've always been. Coin toss decides the possession. 1 15-minute period. And when time's up, we have ourselves a tie ball game if neither team has scored. Both teams have 2 timeouts in that final quarter.
All right, gentlemen, we'll play a sudden death overtime. The first team that scores wins. We'll play the 4th quarter timing rules. Each team will have 2 timeouts. All replays will come from the booth. Heads, the tails. Heads, tails. You're calling the heads.
There it is.
Oh, what was that? Oh, we got a re-kick.
No.
That's a redone.
It's a hit. You want the football. Which way you want to kick?
I thought that was over.
No, it's not over. Turn right around.
Clearly,
Kansas City will receive.
Kansas City called heads. The players don't mind confusing the officials, do they?
Shades of Phil Luckett on Thanksgiving a couple years ago. Overtime coming up on CBS. Javier Arenas waits the kickoff from Sebastian Janikowski, #1 in touchbacks in the NFL.
He's got the big leg. He can set the table for his defense.
Short again, Arenas from the 2. And the nice tackle made by Raiders special teams player Stevie Brown. 8-yard return. Here's how we got here today in Oakland with these two rivals. A touchdown pass to rookie free agent Verran Tucker. And the kickoff return to begin the second half after the Chiefs led 10-0 at halftime. Another rookie start. That was Jacoby Ford. And then a tackle-eligible offensive lineman, Khalif Barnes. A touchdown reception, and then Castle with his second touchdown pass to Bo. And the thing that tied it moments ago, 41 yards away from Sebastian Janikowski. 1st and 10 from the 10. Charles in the backfield. Jamaal Charles. Lilja pulling with the block. And he's out to the 16-yard line, picks up 6 on the play, and Michael Huff in the secondary for the Raiders makes the stop.
Interesting note here in overtime, the Kansas City Chiefs go over 100 yards rushing in the game. They had over 200 yards rushing in each of the last 3 ball games. So a lot of credit goes to this Oakland Raiders run defense that came in ranked 26th in the National Football League. And you can see what the Chiefs have done today compared to what they had done all season long.
On 2nd down and 4. Tony Moriarty, the rookie from Iowa, ridden out of bounds by linebacker Quentin Groves. It's a 1-yard gain. On to the 17. Of course, last week the Chiefs were in overtime against the Buffalo Bills.
We've seen Moriarty get open several times on this very same play. At what point does the Oakland Raiders recognize it and know that Moriarty is the primary intended target for Matt Castle on that play design? Big 3rd down play.
3rd and 3. 4 in the secondary. That's Pope. Did not catch it. Coverage by Cam Wembley. 3 and out for the Chiefs. The Raiders are going to get the ball.
How does Cameron Wembley play coverage with his back to the quarterback? He never turns around, but he shields off the intended tight end receiver. Look at that. He just sticks his hand in there and makes the tackle. Ball comes out. So Leonard Pope is not able to secure the catch. The Raiders should get excellent field position, but possession of the ball is priority #1.
It wasn't delay a game. There was plenty of time. It's going to be, I think, a false start on the Chiefs. With Colquitt in punting formation.
False start. Number 53 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Demario Williams, a veteran.
Todd Haley's team is normally very good. And one of the least penalized teams in the National Football League. 13 today on the Chiefs, 14 on the Raiders.
That's a season high in the NFL. 27. Colquitt. Great hang time. Nick Miller on the 36. And he's wrestled down about the 37-yard line. They had Corey Mays right there. And Javier Arenas. 53-yard punt, 3-yard return, 4-9 on the hang time. All eyes on Jason Campbell on the offense of the Raiders.
And Jason Campbell, we talked about it at the beginning of the game. Hugh Jackson doing a wonderful job leading this offense, putting the game and the ball in the hands of Jason Campbell. If he wants to hold on to his starting position at the quarterback spot for this football team, now would be a good time to step forward.
Difference in this game, if the Raiders win, they come to within a half game of Kansas City. If they lose, they are 2.5 games back with a bye on the horizon for Oakland.
Huge game because at the end of the season, they go on the road and play at Arrowhead in Kansas City.
First and 10. Campbell for Ford. Oh, what a catch! He beat Flowers at the 15. 47-yard gain.
It starts with protection by the rookie tackle Valdir against Tambaha League. Watch the protection there. Keeps both hands inside. That allows Campbell to go down the field. And what we get from Jacoby Ford, he shot out of a cannon. Running by Brandon Flowers, tracking the ball, and look at the catch. That was bigger than the one he made to allow Sebastian Janikowski to tie the game up.
First and 10 from the Kansas City 15. 6 catches and 148 yards for Ford today. Look back. Grabbed by Tambaha League. Jared Johnson, gain of a yard. Down to the 14.
Boy, this Raiders team is learning how to win despite itself. All the penalties that we've seen from them, the turnovers, 3 in the game. But yet Tom Cable's team has an opportunity to close it out in overtime.
Raiders have won 3 of 4. They've won 2 consecutive games. We said this is one of the biggest games the Raiders have had in about 8 years here in Oakland. Selling out. Now with a chance to win. 33-yard drive. Each team had 2 second overtime timeouts, and the Chiefs have just burned their first overtime timeout. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, President Barack Obama with an interview for the first time since the elections. The Amazing Race and Undercover Boss. Great night of television on CBS.
Kevin, last week, Todd Haley was able to ice the kicker, Ryan Lindell of the Buffalo Bills. A kick that Lindell made. But when he called timed out just prior to the kick, on the second attempt, Ryan Lindell missed it. The Chiefs had a chance to go into overtime and won the game.
Raiders have won. Janikowski tied it with a 41-yard field goal. He wins it with a 33-yard field goal.
They fight back in the fourth quarter to tie the game up. They send it into overtime, and Sebastian Janikowski makes the Oakland Raiders a winner at home in a hard-fought game between 2 division rivals.
The Chiefs fall to 5-3. The Raiders have gone to 5-4. 500 or better in November for the first time since their 2002 season when they went to the Super Bowl. And a sellout saw it. First 3-game winning streak since December of '02.